Wondrous Company succeeded in helping the librarian, now known as the Dragonborn, named Messeron, bringing him back, and through a kind of two-route diversion, got back to Birmingham, where they properly got to sort of debrief, catch up, and take a nice evening of festivities and relaxation and drinks and chit-chatting. Being Kazoo, being told they could stay however long into the morning that they needed to. With that in mind, it would seem their Dragonborn has slipped away in the night with another Dragonborn and is currently indisposed somewhere. Well, also probably going to be sticking around for a couple more days before going on to do whatever he does next. Same for the cleric, former nun, who assisted the party in finding him, who will likely be getting tasked elsewhere. The last moment we saw was the party walking back up towards the manor, as the party was coming to an end much later into the night, to a familiar face, a Harengon monk walking about, looking a little bit worse for wear, a little more tired than usual. Kind of looking like he's been doing paperwork and likely getting a crash course in the modern world the last few days, but seems pretty happy to see everybody standing by. As we will, let's see, pick up here, with you guys heading on inside the manor to sit down in the waiting room, before you should end up calling it a night. And we will pick up the next morning bright and early, everybody getting a full rest in case you did expend any magic or anything of the sort. Yeah, party does a nice little assembly in the breakfast room. Of course, there's multiple rooms, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner, 1 for supper, 1 grand room, and a breakfast room.
Naturally.
Yeah. Everybody slowly coming to, getting to sit down.
Naturally.
And everyone's able to order some breakfast or kind of ask for whatever they want. As slowly but surely, all the tired, possibly hungover members of Wondrous Company are able to sit down and kind of meet and greet for the first time in a while without investigations, problems, worries going on. Oh god, Alexander's going nuts with forms.
This is how Alexander does the B-movie thing.
Terrible.
Little did he know he still has hellish tendencies in the form of paperwork.
We've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the Department of Motor Vehicles. It's gonna be such a smash hit.
Oh no.
Don't matter to me. I can't drive a car anyways.
Times like this, I'm glad I ride a horse.
I'm glad I have other people to drive for me.
You know, regulating motor vehicles. Just think of how convenient it'll be. You go there, you'll do everything there. You can update your licenses. You can actually update your addresses, register to vote, learn how to drive, get different classes of driver's license. Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Why don't you fix the ability to vote to a vehicle?
I
the
know
government
about all
There is
that.
why does the government have to pay taxes on it? Why are you paying taxes on something you already bought? It seems,
I don't
seems
even
awful
vote.
strange
I'm
to
not
me.
a citizen.
You know, I have to wonder about binding things like motor vehicles to vote, and that does seem rather odd.
The fact that you have government municipalities or municipal government buildings that can be used for a variety of different reasons. You know, we could even have somebody there that does public notary. You can have somebody there that literally does like marriage stuff and registration of vehicles, doing bill of sales.
You
name
know,
it.
Alexander, we may have some use for you in the lower and middle bureaucracy of the Confederate States.
Oh,
If you're not too busy after so long with your friends gallivanting around.
I can forward up my resume. I gotta go get a copy of it though.
No rush, no rush. Everybody have a good evening night last night?
The maze was interesting.
Oh, yes, the maze that comes and goes. It was a long sort of party gag that was established by my granddaddy.
I think you should have kept that beard.
I'm sorry?
It gave me a beard.
It would have given you a very unique look.
Yes, it was a very unique look, one I was not fond of.
I was not aware kobolds could grow hair on their heads.
They're not, they can't, I mean, no, they're not supposed to.
Did you not at least get a picture of it?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I should have for
You ran
posterity.
off too fast for me to pull my camera out.
Yeah, that's for the best.
Regardless, it seems all of you did make a bit of an impression on some of my guests who were able to give pretty happy remarks, especially for bringing back my librarian. And Mr. Kickington, hopefully you're not too overwhelmed about the last couple days.
Why was there so much paperwork? I'm just gonna hold up his hand. It's like, hand
Well-
still hurts from all of that. I
Well,
don't know why you
okay.
gotta write
Grab
this thing down like
Alexander
9
by the s-
times.
I'm gonna grab Alexander by the scruff and place him front and center in front of you.
I don't know why I had to fill the same form out 9 times. You figured if I could just write it down on the one, it transferred to the one below it or something.
Oh well,
Seems
you
seems
see,
horribly
there's
inefficient.
but here's the thing: each agency needs literally the same information. It's all because they're they're different entities. I guess I don't. What forms exactly were they?
His eyes glaze over. It's kind of that like 1,000-yard stare.
Little bit of
All
column
of
A,
them.
little bit of column D, C, all the way through Z.
If it's a
They were-
Form 28, there's different versions, and literally the reason why is because they have to go to different offices. Like an A has to go to the Department of Agriculture, B has to go to the Department of Public Safety,
But
C's
it's the
got to
same
go.
form. It was the
But
same
they're-
information.
They're different agencies. They don't communicate.
Mr. Kickington isn't starting a business now, Alexander. He was simply filling out what he needed to for monstrous and otherworldly recognition, U.S. and Confederate citizenship, and things of that sort.
I understand that, but each
It
agency,
was the same information, though.
I know each agency requires their own document.
Got to the form ZZ. I don't know what that's for.
Well, at least he didn't have to do a 2986. That one literally asks for like your name on like 7 different forms, and aliases on separate forms are actually attached as additional comments. So
You seem to be rather fond of numbers, aren't you?
it's all an accountability, I guess.
I may have some use for you after Mr. Wild Bill's done procuring your abilities.
Like I said, I'll have to dig up my resume and send it up to you.
I do appreciate that. That all said, though, hopefully all of y'all rested, and whenever feels applicable, you can be on your way, and I do believe you are wanted back in DC.
Well, we haven't been away for long enough.
Oh, it's only been a little over a week.
Oh,
I
no,
suppose
months
we
before
haven't
that.
reported into DC since we were in the Fey realm.
Mr. Cunningham with the U.S. branch of OSS seemed rather interested in what all you were doing, but of course I didn't let them know what they didn't need to know. It would seem you have a pretty full plate ahead of you, however.
No, mine's empty. See, can I get 14 more eggs over easy? Yeah, and a whole plate of toast. Yeah, bring the whole stick of butter.
The ghost maid
There
will
it goes again.
turn and float off, comes back with two nice like poached eggs, a whole bunch of over easy eggs like nicely layered on each other, just a whole stick of butter on the tray with the cool little butter knife.
Thank you. Thank you much. I appreciate it.
Let me know if there's anything else that you may need from me or while you're here. I'll be happy to provide. Till then, I will be seeing to my new thief and making sure my librarian has everything squared away. And she'll give a nice nod to everyone and turn and walks through the double French door without opening it and just disappears.
So, back to DC. I wonder how much they know.
The big question is, should we check the county jail for the pilots first, or check the plane first?
We gave them
Well, let's
48
have
hours.
some faith in them and check the plane first.
I've been assuming that the 48 hours have passed at this point.
Just about,
have
yeah.
they? Oh, okay.
Give or take. Like, unless you guys have anything else you want to do for the day, you'll be able to eventually pick up whenever you choose to and head on back to DC. There's also no, like, need to report in as soon as you arrive.
I'll probably send a message, give one of like the servants around a message, a telegram to my mom, basically relaying all the info I got last night.
Ah, okay, so you'll be writing up that and having it sent out to her. Alright. If you want to give me just some of the spark notes in the background of what that consists of, so I know what to add to her knowledge. Or if anyone
Dear
else.
Mom, Typhon's being a little bitch.
Typhon's a bitch.
P.S. Grandma says hi.
Great grandma. She says howdy. He's a bodyguard again. Yeah, if anyone else has anything they want to do with the morning or into the evening, you kind of have free open tasks until you should choose to make way over to the plane.
Alex is going to enjoy some coffee, and then he's going to vanish.
Alright. Going into the study, I'm assuming?
I haven't decided what I'm going to have him do yet. He's just going to vanish
Alright.
for a little bit.
I'm sure Torn has plenty to do. I just can't think of it, so I presume the entirety of the day is taken up by phone calls and writing letters and annoying people.
Understandable. Just kind of catching up on things, talking with Ambrose, I'm assuming, and seeing what updates there may be, if any.
Oh yeah, Ambrose is here.
He was.
Consulting with
Why
him
would he
on
not fly back
knockers.
at least part way with us?
He has his own plane.
He has his own plane?
Yeah. He gets around.
I'll bet you it's a little fucking, it's like a cigar box plane. Like, it's single seater, fucking just tiny like a fighter aircraft. It just gets in it and fucking flies. Like a personal car.
Right.
What you're saying is he's got a
Little old
Cessna.
Jenny.
Yeah, but it's like not a Cessna. It's like a comically small plane where it's just like room for the pilot and an engine. Like,
He powers. It's not even an engine. He powers the propeller with his hand.
Oh my.
it's got fucking pedals.
No. Because he's an automaton, right? So he just puts his hand, like grabs the end of the like prop shaft, and then his hand just spins like rotationally at the wrist, and he just holds his hand out like that with his other hand on the stick.
Jesus.
No
You guys
need
are
for fuel.
mean.
No need for fuel. No need for engine. The plane is just absolutely minuscule.
He may be mechanical, and he may sort of have an artificial soul, but he's not a friggin' robot now. Come on.
You're missing the part where I think this is neat.
Guys are just being bullies. But yeah, we'll be able to kind of breeze over the morning and afternoon. You guys will be able to get various small items and whatnot done to yourselves, talk to other people, kind of gallivant around until eventually everyone will kind of recoup and start making your way over towards the little private airfield not too far away across the 2 little half fields that are only farmed for half the year. As usual, Albatross is sitting there, ready to go, nice and shiny in the sun, stairwell is down, however you don't see the pilot or the co-pilot as the 6 of you approach.
Yeah.
Well, they explained to me exactly what this is, but, like, I don't understand.
It's easier to. This one's kind of hard to explain. How do they explain it to the Indians? It's like a bird, sorta.
Well, I get the concept of it is that it gains enough speed and somehow manages to go through the air, but it seems too heavy to do that.
Airfoils and pressure differentiation. It's something.
Torn's just like over there, like,
See that portion of the wing that creates a low pressure bubble, alright? And that generates lift.
Basically, it sucks itself up into the sky.
How the hell did you figure that out?
It's with sails.
And then 2 guys from Ohio.
Yeah, bicycle mechanics. I still want to meet them.
I think one of them died.
I don't know.
As you all approach, everybody give me a perception check.
The plane is gone.
It's not actually there.
It's just a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
it's just the wind blows and it tips over.
The
What happened to the
pilot
plane?
comes out.
We lost
Guys!
it gambling.
I can explain. We're gonna get it back tonight. We just have to win the race.
Bro, the odds on FanDuel were in our favor. I didn't know he was gonna play that shot.
It's like, I had it until the parlay hit.
Is this hearing based or normal?
Visual. Ooh.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah.
We're too
Yeah,
busy
Torn-
trying to explain the concept of an airplane to Rich.
Yeah, Torin and Richard are engrossed in just looking at the bottom of a wing, just trying to.
Of everybody who is looking outwards, nobody notices who's the first one walking to the little ladder case that goes up to hop into the plane.
I was gonna say we're still missing 2 people. Hachu, Alexander.
They may have stepped away.
Alexander was here. He made a snide comment.
Yeah, I'm here. I was just searching for something.
Oh, you
This
got
is
fucking
amazing.
Wow.
You're fucking
Nope.
shitting me.
The lowest
Wow.
stakes perception rolls ever, and we're just bombing.
Wow!
There's no
Wow.
way.
I mean, at this point, if Alexander rolls, yep, okay, so we're all still sub 15.
All right.
We're all hungover or distracted.
It's a TPK.
Man,
It's a TPK right here. It's like the Indiana
I-
Jones propeller. Chop, 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 chop.
Damn. Yeah, this is how the party dies. No,
Imagine
Not
we
with a
all
bang,
just
but with
walk into
comically
the
low dice
propeller
rolls.
like a freaking dude that wandered off to freaking
oh
Colorado.
no. Oh man.
Hey guys, what's that noise?
Yeah, the order that you guys board the plane honestly doesn't matter. You don't see pilot or co-pilot outside or around. You don't hear them inside. There's all 6 of you just kind of idle your way up the staircase into the plane. Some of you go into your seats, sitting down and getting comfy right away. And it's almost, I'm going to blame it on you guys just being distracted, tired, maybe trying to talk about how planes work with lift to thrust ratios and just no one's really paying any attention as you all sit down, and about 10-15 minutes go by before, barely, Alexander, the thought crosses your mind, where's the pilots?
I'm gonna check the liquor cabinet.
No, I'm telling you, that just it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. I don't know how to describe
Wait
it
a
any better. You're
second.
just
Are
gonna
we
have to
too
see it.
early? We gave them 42 hours, right?
Investigation,
what?
Peter.
Pilots? Nice.
Ooh. Hey, you pop open a liquor cabinet. It doors swing open and kind of do that folding thing to either side. All the bottles are there. A couple of them have been lightly touched, maybe down another quarter to half bottle, but nothing major, nothing significant. None of them been
And it's
emptied or run through.
Still alcohol in them, right?
Yeah, at least as far as you can tell, it's all alcohol.
They're all filled with sweet tea.
Oh no, they became addicts. Hey, you got some of that sweet tea?
No, sweet tea looks like liquor, so you...
So, is it over 42 hours?
It's been, yeah, at this point, it's been about 40 to 42 hours. About that time that they should be back or should have been back.
I mean, they've been on a pretty tight leash for a while now. I'm gonna go check the cockpit.
So do we go check the county jail?
Thorin,
Possibly the racetrack. I thought they went to the
Maybe.
racetrack.
give me
Give them,
investigation.
maybe they just hit some traffic on the way back. Give them
Hold on, wait a
Another,
second. Do they
like-
have a
15 minutes or so.
do they have a bookie?
As you guys are
They got
contemplating,
bookie.
Thorin steps to the front of the plane, steps through the first little private door, and then pulls open the door to the cab. Steps inside. You see pilot and co-pilot. Pilot's got his feet up on the dashboard. Both are laying back. Wearing their usual clothes, but seem to have kind of like little bead necklaces around their neck. They seem not dirty, but they've been walking about on the street for about 20 some odd hours solid, sleeping on benches and just kind of bar crawling, it would seem. That sort of kind of dust or grime kind of scent and look that you get after being out for too long. They're not wasted, but they're very cozy to the point that they don't realize or hear you lean in.
Where did you two even get Hawaiian bead necklaces in the South?
Oh, they,
Fuck. Oh.
they probably took a tram ride to New Orleans.
Hey, listen, Levencroft,
You still need to sleep this off, don't you?
perhaps, no, didn't realize, you were just taking a nap, refreshing yourselves. He leans over in front of you, pats a co-pilot on the chest who wakes up, takes his hat off his face. Oh.
I'm gonna need you to follow my finger.
He blinks 3 times hard, leans in a little bit, looks at your finger.
Someone has the left, right, and the sag this thing.
Let me roll. Fucking nat 20, he's on his game. Yeah, his eyes follow your finger perfectly. Your claws just going left and right, up and down. He tracks it without a problem.
Alright. We gotta go to DC.
DC? Okay, yep. Give us, just 5 minutes, we'll get the engine spooled up. We'll be, yeah, we'll be heading out here shortly. Everybody on board? Bring all luggage and everything?
I think so. Hey, everyone's on, right?
Calls to the
Yeah,
back of the
they're all
plane.
on.
Alrighty, we'll be on our way here shortly. And he starts flipping some knobs, getting ready, looking out the engine. The other one starts opening up the window. Co-pilot's kind of doing a visual check again, reading over as they'll start prepping up and fixing themselves, taking little necklaces off their neck and putting in a little kind of like cup holder in the middle. And
This
after
one's just gonna come back out. Like,
Yeah, they're fine. I think.
All right then.
a few moments later, you hear the little impact and putt-putt of the engine slowly starting to spool up. And co-pilot will come walking past some of you, go to the ladder, pull it up and in, lock it, close the door, bar, turn about. Brisley walks back up to the front, closes the door behind him, as the plane starts to taxi forward very gentle-like and getting ready for its takeoff.
I tell you, they're always too gentle with this thing.
How is being gentle a bad thing?
They're not using it to its full potential.
I personally don't want to get airsick. It's fine. I'll ask you a question, Torn. Have you ever had air sickness before?
No.
Not pleasant.
Not fun.
I've flown the planes. I don't know.
But it's different when you're actually flying compared to a passenger. You can anticipate the movements when you're flying.
Yeah, no, never had it.
I'll have you know, they use vertigo as a form of torture in hell.
That's why?
It sucks.
Alright, everyone, secure any drinks, any loose garments, items, personnel, or any poker chips you may find straying to and fro in the back. We'll be making way for DC through the assigned route. We'll be arriving in a couple hours. As plane starts lurching forward on the softer dirt track, starts pulling its way up, eventually goes from that kind of rough, gravelly bounce to a very nice, smooth takeoff and slow climb in elevation as you guys start to leave a lot of the humidity and mist and atmosphere, now back in clear sky above the clouds after not too long. And you guys will have a couple hour flight on your way up to DC. They already know the route and path. They know where to land and touch down. And anything you guys would like to do while you are on the plane with your various items, accoutrements, and whatnot that you have collected over time, or anything else that you would like to look into or do.
Why is it so loud though?
It's not that loud. It's actually relatively quiet compared to other aircraft.
Well, remember, everything's loud to him. The ears.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
That's it. Internal combustion, radial engines, just kind of a thing.
The plane is powered by explosions.
That seems like a horribly inefficient way to power it.
It was about 6,000 explosions per minute right now.
Per engine.
You guys get the notion, while still very new to it, this is maybe the 8th or 9th plane ride that Rich has been on as of yet.
Wow, he's been on a lot of planes since he got back.
Oh yeah. Rich, I would like a Constitution save from you, however.
Of course.
Yeah, they probably had to fly him out to like the UK to sign paperwork, then fly him to the US to do paperwork, then fly him to the Confederates to do paperwork.
Hey.
I guess that's the number I'm rolling for everything this session.
15s all day, every day. Before it was easy to feel off balance, despite your tail and ears and your lagomorph legs that allowed you to keep balance better. It's coming around to you. You're getting more familiar with being on vehicles, being on faster moving boats, airplanes. You're keeping your feet underneath you. You're not feeling too dizzy or nothing. Your ears will go back just a little bit, but You're getting comfy with it. This one's a lot smoother than the previous planes you were on that were much more direct chartered flights.
Just stop and appreciate the technology for a second. There is a latrine on board.
Well, that's an improvement over the last one.
But you been on planes already?
Hey, apparently I was unconscious for one of them or something like that. Whatever the hell's that you found there in that wee box. Really did I respond well to that?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
So what in the hells was that?
Was Ghost Stone, or sometimes referred to as the heart of Gaia, a substance of pure energy potential that once upon a time, and I don't know why I said once upon a time, very realistically in the past century, was mined extensively for its useful application in any technology. You know, until they figured out that it was killing the whole world and everything, and then it was bad, and then they took it back, and then there was tariffs, and then it got messy.
Like with most things, as soon as the government gets involved.
Well, in this case, the government really did need to get involved, genuinely. It needs to stay where it is. It should not be out of the earth. It should, existence kind of loosely depends on it staying where it is.
Interesting. You kind of rub it at one eye a little bit, the other one kind of twitching before he refocuses.
Good choice.
So how long did it take you to recover from your little exposure?
Several days, 9, 10-ish. I'm still... It's like I kind of catch my breath.
I mean, I suppose that kind of makes sense, being you're an inherently very magical creature from who spent his life in the Fey realm, and Ghost Stone is Ghost Stone. As creatures of Gaia, we're more conditioned to it than you, I presume, so the effects of it, exposure to it, would have been far greater for you.
I think the one elf said it was it's like someone's first time taking what they say, laudanum or whatever. It's a lot more potent than like the 20th time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What I'm saying is, if that's what doing drugs is like, count me out of that.
Yeah, they
I'll stick to my mead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hear there's this new craze going around with the African Americans these days. What do they call it, Achu?
Damn. You're about to make reference to Reefer Madness. I
thought it was going to be a crack joke.
That's not till the 70s.
No, it was weed. It was weed then.
They got the Reefer Madness. Singling out Hachu like that, how could you?
He is a resident black snake.
True. Alabama black snake. Oh! Yeah, the flight will go by relatively smooth and nice. A little bit of casual talk, a little bit of catching up, seeing how everyone's just kind of vibing along.
Personally, I wouldn't mind trying peyote myself.
What coyote up here?
The peyote. It's some native thing developed in the East. I've heard good things about it. Well, not good. I've heard things about it. Sounds interesting.
Thinking of implementing a new process for most hiring also is called drug testing. So like you pee in a cup, right?
So, are you just trying to take all of the fun out of the world?
Well, I'm just figured that maybe some employers will like competent employees that aren't always like high and drunk.
Of course they're high and drunk. That's how you get stuff done.
It's a new day and age, Torin. It's a new day and age.
The carpenter shows up to do something for me, and he doesn't smell like whiskey. I'm concerned about where he's been.
Wait, are you supposed to do anything without an afternoon beer?
I mean, I wouldn't get mad at that. I mean, look at me. I'm on the job drinking whiskey. I'm just saying, some employees or employers, people that deal with like high risk kind of investments and need a little bit more like, I don't know, cognitive ability in the job might require to have some sort of substance testing, against like maybe like psychedelics. I mean, would you trust a surgeon to be on psychedelics as he's working on you?
Surgeon? It's not like he's gonna do much.
I'm just saying. I personally wouldn't want a surgeon to be working on me if I was drunk or if they were drunk or high on psychedelics and I don't know, maybe smoking reefer.
I think
It's
you
just
need
stuff
to
like
shelf
that.
that one for now. I don't think that one's gonna take either.
Who knows? I was gonna draft it up and see to the Department of Health and see what they say about it, but
Yeah, but the question is, why you gotta pee in the cup? That seems a little weird. Because you're gonna have to have. Because then you're gonna have to have a whole profession around people who are messing with other people's pee, and that sounds like some kind of degeneracy.
Yeah, imagine being like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm the pee cup filler upper. No one wants to do that.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be emptier, not filler upper? Because wouldn't the person taking the test be the filler upper?
Good point. Just into that.
Also, now you got someone who's messing with everybody else's pee.
Yeah,
It just sounds unsanitary.
Peas are.
Yeah, well, it's because the fact is, like, you have residual chemicals that are in, are processed through the kidneys and expelled through your urine. That's how you would be able to see if anyone is actually on the, substances while they test.
What would you test after the fact? You just look at them.
It's not always that easy now, is it? Plus, also, if you had to need to make a legal case about it, you need to have physical evidence, and well, that's how you do it.
Alexander, I think I don't quite think this is the right point. Take our pilots, for example. Their blood is more alcohol than blood right now.
Well, I'm not saying anything about alcohol. I'm talking like, psychedelics.
They were wearing beads. Who knows what they got into?
I mean, all they did was have a fun time in New Orleans, probably, or Mobile. Either one of those two. You could get those there.
Now, why don't you go up there and ask them to pee in a cup?
It came to me in a dream one day when
Look,
some
Doctor.
blue
Let's
guy
see
came
how well
up
this
to me
goes.
and handed me a damn frog.
No, let's test this out. Let's see how well this goes. Go up there and ask our pilots to pee into a cup.
No, I'm just drafting the idea. I'm not the actual guy that does it.
Okay. Look,
As part of this drafting the idea, you have to do research to see how people will handle it.
Yeah.
So go up there, ask the pilots to pee in a cup.
Yeah.
Torrin's gonna grab a rocks glass and here.
So here's my question for you. How exactly am I supposed to test it? This is just the concept of it. It's supposed to go up to an organization that's supposed to do actual field testing and make the scripts that actually... I have no way to actually get the results because I don't have the test strips. That's what my friends are making
That's
those.
not the point right now. The point is, can you get them to pee in a cup?
It's a social experiment.
Oh
Go in there and tell them their jobs depend on them peeing in a cup.
I'm not human resources.
You know what? Rich will reach over and grab the glass.
No.
This
That's not
ought
for
to be
you.
entertaining.
No, it's not for you. That's not for you. This is.
If you
This
can't
isn't
go
your
ask
horrible
them
idea.
if you can't go ask them to pee in a cup, then you can't ask somebody else to go ask them to pee in a cup.
I'm literally drafting just the concept of it. It doesn't mean anything other than this piece of paper.
It's a bad concept.
Yeah, Rich is already walking up towards the cabin and everything. Like, knock on the door. He pokes his head through. Hey, I got a question for you.
Oh,
So,
hypothetically
speaking
Herringon.
okay.
Oh, yes.
Hey, yeah, hypothetically speaking, I need you to answer this and understand this is a purely hypothetical thing. Right?
All right.
So, he's gonna hold up the glass and everything. Mind you, he's like got one hand on the door frame. He got one hand holding the glass by the bottom. So, if I were to say that your job depended on you pissing in as your glass and whatnot to see if you're a drunkard or taking some kind of substance or something, I think a psychedelic or whatever they say back there, and we're going to test for it. Would you be keen on doing that? It's a simple yes/no question. Not asking you to actually do it.
I would, but frankly, as far as we're not drunk, by the way.
I'll say
Copilot is wildly more accurate. We've won a fair few bets. He could land an entire stream in a cup across the room if he wanted to, drunk or not. He's done it before. I mean, it's one of the
So you're
perks of
saying
being
that
a
you would
pilot.
not be keen on the whole idea of it?
I mean, we've used it as competition before. I see no reason why not.
All right then, answer that question.
Also, you ever been on a 9-hour flight?
Nothing else, and then keep walking back.
And maybe they're finally discussing between themselves, how do the pilots piss while they're on a long flight? I know, right? It's almost like they don't understand how bottles work. Yeah.
So, after the rigorous experimentation and everything, they're not keen on it. He's gonna hand the glass back to Torin and go back to his seat.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, Alexander.
I mean, they said they'd do it if they had to, but I mean, then they started getting weird with it, saying there was a competition they were having about who could land what in the cup from further away, and that. Just say that's probably not a conversation I wanted to be part of, but
It's okay, Alexander. Not all of the ideas can be winners.
Well, I guess I'll go back to the drawing board, and he'll crumple up the paper and throw it over his shoulder, unrealizing that this has become a process in the next 20 years.
He just crosses out cup and writes bottle.
So the question is now, out of character, who rifles through the trash and finds this idea and literally pushes it through?
Probably someone in DC and some bureaucrat.
Yeah, some fucking communist sleeper agent in DC is going through our trash. He's like, oh, Ivan, this good idea.
No. The pilots are taking our trash bin, and they go to dump it out in the big dumpster after getting out of the airplane, and the one piece of paper uncrumples and floats away down the line until it eventually lands smack in the face of a young Nancy Pelosi, who of course is already 50 years old at this point.
No, this world's magic.
He's
been doing some weird dark magic and like child blood shit for like.
You mean like real life?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the real question here is that we work for multiple intelligence agencies, so I would assume that even though it's kind of private contractor sort of thing right there, there's still got to be some kind of control over the waste. So someone's got to make sure that we're not trying to use the trash as dead drop. So someone's gonna have to go through the trash regardless.
Pretty sure the pilots just dump it out in a public trash can when they get the chance.
Yeah, no connections. Done.
Yeah, there's. I don't think they quite got those kind of connections. At least not yet. You guys haven't given them a reason to be that OPSEC with your plane.
Or they just burn it.
Or they just burn it, yeah.
Also, I wasn't there for that, so I missed the call back to Trix. So, F.
Doug said he got the idea from, yeah, as a blue guy came into his dream and gave him a frog.
I got the frog
Yeah,
part.
but also Alexander just has whack ass dreams from what we've seen, so I just acknowledge it.
But that small
Just
thing
that
about-
sounds about right.
Greatly upsetting. The content in itself is inherently somehow innocent, yet the nature from which it comes from and the context that it's in is deeply concerning to me.
The clown has no penis.
I'm locking him in.
Yeah, see, exactly.
I'm rubbing my temples.
Your listeners are probably like, boo, stolen joke.
He borrows jokes from other people.
Torrance is stuffing Alexander in a luggage compartment.
I never told you.
Surprisingly, he fits very well.
We don't put that in the stories.
Oh no. Don't you fucking start. After enough time has gone by, the flight is pleasant. It's a nice overcast, as it usually is on the northeast coast. And you guys start making your way inland just a little bit as you start approaching the area known as DC, with some of its white buildings and nice streets at the time. Coming in for a nice little landing, and it's a pretty simple and quick ordeal. There's a couple long cars set to be as shuttles between there and the OSS, as they're constantly having people come and go, and other different positions. You guys are able to touch down. Majority of your equipment is able to be offloaded onto a truck that is sent out ahead of you to OSS headquarters just outside DC, or technically right on the edge of like DC proper. Gosh, what was it? Oh, whatchamacallit, Hill, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Hamburger?
Not Hamburger.
Navy Hospital.
Navy Hospital Hill, that's it, yeah.
I presume for the car ride, because it's hilarious and Torn would do it. You know, the guy who's like opens the door for you is like, right this way, sir. Torn's like, yeah, and he's gonna like push him down in the seat and then go around, just get in the driver's drive.
You did have a military, like, lieutenant or ensign of some sort that would be doing your driving.
It would be like a sergeant or something.
Or a sergeant, maybe,
Officers don't drive cars at this point.
Sometimes.
Yeah, no, better yet, the sergeant's just standing there. He's like waiting. Torn just gets in and leaves him there.
He just knows already. He just sits shotgun. Yeah, it'll be a nice little drive. You're familiar enough with the last 2 times you've been here that, and also it's kind of labeled. You got a rough idea of where you're going. As you're able to make your way through and around, you hit that nice little winding road that twists up and enters the first security area. You're able to be waved through because they recognize the vehicle. Security is not super high. Excuse me. End up popping out. You see the truck is already being brought over and its contents already being sent to the barracks. I'm gonna transfer this on over. I just realized it's still playing that.
You better have gotten my machine gun.
Some of the privates and other lower enlisted contractors that are unloading the crates and boxes give a couple nods at that. You guys realize you've procured quite a bit of equipment over time.
Oops.
Yeah. It's... Also, I need to fix the tokens here real quick. Allow me to grab Rich, because I realize I put Messeron in there by accident. And I did not mean to do that.
You don't think they're going to steal our MG34?
They better not.
There we go. You see them unloading the equipment, taking it along, bringing it over to the barracks. All of you having your original assigned rooms, and to their understanding, Richard has also been granted a room that he'll be introduced to eventually. But
is this
for some reason it says Leroy on the door?
Kind of.
Really stretched out.
Peter, is this the building where you made sure you had a window? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
The barracks in the bottom left, he does in fact have a windowed room.
Yeah, except there's a tree in bloom outside, so it's just it's just
It's nice and pleasant for him. But...
No, the tree's like growing right up against the window, so all it is leaves and blossoms.
Worse yet, I still can't open the window because it's the one type of tree I have a pollen allergy to.
Oh god, he's just standing there in front of the window with his arms crossed, a single manly tear running down his cheek.
Oh.
And it's not a tear of sadness, it's a tear of allergies.
Jeez.
Alex is going to have a armful of papers as he shuffles along to go file stuff.
Where are you going to be heading,
Remember,
Alexander?
We filed our report for Norway with the Confederates, not with...
Oh, no. He's turning in the audits he's been literally working on for the last couple months.
Ah, okay. So as far as reporting into
this...
Major Cunningham, you know he's either going to be in intelligence headquarters or likely in Admin 1. Whereas the paperwork, they're probably turning that into like 3/10 intelligence or something of that sort.
So does this mean that we're going to be being reimbursed for our expenses?
I don't know. He seems to lack an inherent ability to know when to bend rules when they're needed, so I don't even know what we've done or haven't done that could be good or could be get bad at this point.
You say that, and yet he went with you to go...
Yeah, okay, don't say it. Yes, I know, and he documented it meticulously. I don't know what that...
So glad I went on that tramp.
I just don't understand.
Well, is this the one where you lit something on fire?
He's
I know
telling
that narrows
himself.
it down, but...
He just documents everything. Something shouldn't be documented.
Yeah, but I mean, we pay for like everything out of pocket that isn't the plane.
And if he gets reimbursement for that, that'd be nice. But at the cost of what? What else are they gonna figure out?
Like I said, I would have actually turned in a physical audit, but I lost it, so...
What have we been, like, financially, what have we been doing that hasn't been out of pocket that isn't the plane or ammunition?
I'm not even concerned about the finances. I'm concerned about what he wrote in the lines between the finances.
I don't know what he would have put in the audit that you would be concerned about that wouldn't have been in one of our reports already.
Me neither, but I don't know. He's got an eye for being difficult.
He's a true bureaucrat.
You're a subject matter expert in that.
Look, it just has this way of making me feel nervous.
Truly a spawn of hell.
I don't even know if I've done anything wrong, but I feel like I could have somehow, and then he's gonna write it on a piece of paper and turn it into the intel community.
We are the intel community.
I am the Senate.
Gonna keep slowly be making our way towards Admin 1, dawdling, waiting for him to catch up.
Well, yes, but also look, we're the front arm of the community. The people that behind the desk with the glasses and then the shirts and the pocket protectors, and they don't know. They don't know. I don't know. It's just
Don't you have a pocket protector?
No.
Just the glasses then.
Yeah, I kind of need them.
Summons greater restoration into my hand. I can change that, you know.
Oh.
That'd be something. Non-glasses torn. Ugh.
It's just kind of funny that he's nearsighted just because nature and also book.
Book?
Grew up where he never had to look at anything that was further than like 40 feet away.
Oh. Dimly lit rooms. Yeah, it's nice.
It's not even physical, it's psychological.
Yeah. It's a nice, pretty pleasant day. Grounds don't seem to be too busy. There's a handful of officers or contract personnel walking to and fro. Seems about as busy as it ever does, where nobody's fast walking, nobody's running, nobody's got arm stacks full of papers or envelopes or anything of that sort. Handful of messengers going here or there. The occasional, what is likely a scientist walking by, talking with two others. Seems to be a few more people than average entering and leaving research and development. And something in particular you're noticing is a few more elves, and the occasional other race. There doesn't seem to be quite as many exclusively humans walking about.
So, do you think they're getting ready to blow something else up under our feet, or do you think they've learned their lesson?
Well, let's hope not.
I don't think they learned a damn thing.
The stamp ritual.
Alexander, roll me charisma.
What do you need me to roll?
Give me a charisma check, Alexander. Ooh. There's sort of a... It definitely lands. They hear the jealousy, and there's a pause right before you get to the door. Oh, hold on, sir. Can you come back for just a moment? I apologize.
What seems to be the problem?
It would seem these are filed out of order. I will have to ask that they are submitted in odd then even rather than numerical direct order, as the odd pages here, including the Puce paperwork, are the ones that are going to be separated. And he'll hand one of the packets back to you.
You're kidding me. I actually followed the filing procedure to the book. How exactly is it out of order?
If you'll allow me, sir, I believe the book may have changed in the last week while you were gone.
Oh my god.
He's gonna find a place to sit down and start rearranging it.
Alright. It'll be about 10-15 minutes or so. Give me an intelligence.
Apologize for the dog.
Yeah, it doesn't take you very long, about 10-15 minutes maybe. You're able to reorganize it, slot the papers, make sure the removable pink slips and Puce slips are popped back in there. And you got the packet nice inside a envelope once again.
It's all good to go.
You step forward to hand it over to him. He's gonna look over the table. It gives the respectable, like, okay, you're a higher rank, so obviously he's not gonna be rude about it, but he will reach out, take the packet, open it up, starts flipping a couple of the papers upwards, peels one to the side and looks at it, closes it, gently holds it back out to you. I apologize, sir. It would seem on page 7 and page 8, the pen work and your writing doesn't seem to have transferred onto the paper behind it. You may have to refill those out.
So I hate carbon copies. Alright, I'll get on it.
Roll me insight. Roll me investigation with advantage. So you look at those papers in particular and the carbon copies. There is no excessive bleed through or lack thereof. It transferred through perfectly. Maybe there's like a comma or two that didn't pick up, but the rest of it's all there.
Make sure those commas are actually on their proper punctuation before handing it back.
He'll take it, look at it. Another about 10-15 minutes have gone by. He'll flip it open. Looks on the other page. Slides it across the top of the table to the other lieutenant next to him, who looks over, pulls up some little glasses. I apologize, sir. It would seem you may have filed the dates here wrong. The current date and timestamp you put on, I believe this is page 12, seems to be for tomorrow morning, not this morning. You may need to double check your dating as well as the dates on the other pages just to make sure that things are properly timelined, and he'll close it and slide it back across to you.
How long have you guys been in this position?
We've been here approximately, 3 months? 3 months, sir.
It shows. I was an administrative assistant too, meaning I was here for at least a couple of years. Now, I'm going to kind of start telling you guys a little bit about procedure here. Where exactly... You know what, go ahead, get your book out. I kind of want to see where you're getting these procedures from.
Well, the procedures have been a little bit more word of mouth. After all, those who have been, respectfully, sir, those involved in the research and development area, as well as most everybody that occupied Admin 2, have since, in the last while, been transferred elsewhere. It would seem a lot of their paperwork was never keeping up or properly filed, which led to quite the debacle, trying to reorganize the best attempts of those in research and admin 2, sir.
Alright. Give me a copy of all that procedure. I'll re-prepare this and have it ready by tomorrow morning.
Very well, sir. We'll see what we can acquire and have it sent to your room.
You're gonna have to fill out a request to receive copies.
Which, I'm prepared for that. That's literally standard procedure.
He gives a nod and states that he'll do that. Would there be anything else, sir, other than reviewing your report before submitting it again?
Do it. That should do it. Thank you.
Very well. We'll be here, sir. You'll notice a little bit of a heavier palm lean forward as the two will kind of look to each other, and just a little bit of that knowing, like, ugh, kind of look as you exit out the door.
Sometimes I wish that place would just explode into a big fiery inferno.
The rest of you got about a 20-30 minute head start on him as Alexander will be making his way over towards the barracks. What are the rest of you up to? Where are the rest of you going?
Presumably to find Cunningham, as our request has been requested, and we don't have any, at least as far as Torrent goes, doesn't have many ties here.
Alrighty. Yeah, you guys will know he's more than likely in his office in Admin 1. So you'll be able to make your way on over, likely talk to the front desk or inquire as to if he's in, and you'll get a nice straight answer. 3rd floor in his main office, room 301. Won't take you very long to walk your way around and through the admin building. A lot of officers walking about, and you'll be able to approach a nice, decent-sized private office. It's got a Major Cunningham on the front of it. You can see where it's labeled with Corps of Intelligence and Police CIP for 310th Military Intelligence.
Hey, Cunningham!
Oh, that's how you get in trouble. How do you guys, how do you go about knocking or entering, or how do you go about in front of the office?
I mean, knock?
Just doing a knock? Yeah, knock a couple times.
Let him on the door. Just absolutely pound it down. No.
Nikos, could you knock, please? Boom, boom, boom.
Give me strength, Nikos.
No.
All right, give him con.
Oh no.
Yeah. Roll con to not fucking break the door.
Yeah, you guys will give a nice proper knock to the door. After a few moments, you'll hear from across the room. Enter.
Open the door and go in.
Party will be able to mosey your way in one at a time. Hachu having to lower his head down and kind of slink his way through. Rich walking alongside you guys. It's
No knockers.
No knockers on these doors. And you see Major Cunningham looking a little more relaxed. His tie is a little loose. Top button isn't done. As he's looking over some paperwork. Looks up to all of you. Ah, wondrous. Good to see you all back in DC. How was your temporary assignment?
Fun.
Exciting.
Miss,
I'm sure you'll read the redacted version at some point.
I received a couple reports from Miss Harper and what little bit the information that we were able to get from the Signal Corps from the Confederate States, but it's pretty enlightening. I won't pry too far as much as I would love to know what's going on in the Sumas territory, but we'll leave that be. That is, assuming any anonymous reports you may wish to submit, I won't object. But, good to have you back. Any news or updates or anything you would like to bring to my attention?
How's your basement renovation going?
Professor Hans Bath's area. Turns out, we did some looking into it and some investigating. He did not actually summon a dragon god. It would seem he actually managed to... The best way that the arcane science lads were able to explain it was he manifested a copy of whatever that draconic god was. They were using the term artificial, some were saying copy, some were saying fake. One used the word usurper, although he is a little more fancy with his word choice. But it would seem Professor Bath found a way to essentially create a copy of his own god and use him as a power source for all that radiant energy or some such.
Well, thank God he's dead.
Over at Peter.
What's that,
Kinda
Rich?
Gauging his reaction. Rich is looking over at Peter, kind of gauging the reaction based off of what Peter does in response to that.
And why were you letting him do this in your basement?
You'll see him raise his brows up. Well, we were allowing him to research radiant energy and potential weaponry, or more specifically, a power source. After all, Professor Bath, your we'll say squad mate, Mr. Alexander, was in fact doing a lot of the paperwork and working with him on that. He was our lead in celestial dynamics and nucleosynthesis, trying to figure out how energy worked and some such. I don't fully understand, but it would seem he found a god was the best way to collect that energy. We weren't aware that that's what he was doing, and obviously, as you saw when you encountered him, he became a small sun.
Like Kairos, yeah. Flew too close to the sun and died for it, and we're all probably better off for that. What you had on your hands was a liability.
Especially when it's underneath the Capitol.
We've, thanks to our organizational expert, Ravagor, and her kobolds being very... what would be the right word for it? they're capable. We've been able to install new safeguards and checks and balances to make sure different departments aren't potentially sinking us into the core. Anything that would be destructive to the city or nearby area. A handful of the experiments that we presume may be that dangerous have been exported elsewhere, be it in locations in Arizona and some locations in Nevada.
Of course, it is not my room to say, but of course I feel like it would be logical to avoid trifling with gods or deities in any way.
It's a very bad idea.
Some of us tend to agree, some of us are looking to make it as safe as possible, while also still wanting to figure out that information. I try not to meddle too much into it.
You should meddle more into it, for it should not be done.
As far as creating gods, we're making sure that doesn't happen.
Or trying to summon them, or trying to talk to them, or trying to gain their powers, or interfering in their business.
Most things around...
Lest you anger them, and that's never good.
Yes, we are quite aware. Most things around gods we are being much more safe about, especially with a somewhat minor understanding and something I actually was hoping to speak to you about, General Zagros. It would seem our ocean studiers are noticing significant shifts in the tides.
Oceanographers, sir.
Oceanographers, thank you. They...
Sorry. Actually.
Our ocean studiers. I know that was a slip up on your behalf, but it was fucking funny.
Well, this is also his understanding. He's not a scientist. He's a normal science guy. You know?
Our ocean water dudes.
Our ocean water guys that do things with the water in the ocean. You know. You see him kind of rub his chin for a moment. Something about the tides being affected as of late, and some other mishaps. Frankly, there's a rather, I'll say, substantial briefing that I will need to sit down with you when you are available to discuss and bring you up to speed on available missions. I, of course, don't want to rush you, but as of right now, yourselves, Wonders Company, are our only available and not currently tasked out team who isn't currently away on mission or doing something else. And quite the roster of interesting developments have come across my table. Ah, Alexander. Good
Hello,
to
sir.
see you back among us.
It's nice to be back. I don't know who you literally hired for. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that right now.
Many kobolds. A few too many kobolds, frankly. No offense, but
it kind of seems that way. The procedure's gone pretty to the wind, so it seems.
With the involvement of 3 new monstrous and non-human races, and some additional pressure, of which we are happy to work with and try to bring into the cooperative, blanking on how to say, working together with those who are slowly learning how we work. We're trying not to allow too many biases to show, but it's a bit difficult to find a placement for everybody to be equally involved in things.
Well, trying to force representation in certain industries like that seems to be a detriment. There are some things that should just be handled by certain people because they're capable of handling it. Like, you're not asking me to get to the top shelf, are you?
Frankly, you being a voice to contribute as of late, and hopefully you will continue to do so as the ambassador for the Harengon, alongside Miss O'Connor, who has been helping to tamper down some of those desires to see more inclusion in things before they're ready to do so themselves. Regardless of that, we're making do with what we have, but we are looking to reorganize and fix our paperwork conundrum. Alexander, I will personally say the research and development department definitely misses some of your organizational capacity. However,
I'm gonna hand him that grievance too.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, just something I drafted up later for. You don't have to read it right now. Just for consideration.
He won't open it, but he'll set it to the side nicely for the time being. I'll give that a read over. Regardless of all that, it is nice to have you all back, and I hope you are ready to decide which direction you would like to go and how you can assist us for the time being.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Very good. Obviously, I'm not going to rush you or press you into anything. Some things are a little bit more immediate than others, but we find ourselves in a weird state of not needing to rush with anything, at least not at the moment, unless something else should come across my table the next day. So, feel free to get settled in, make sure everything you have or need is attended to. Obviously, your rooms are still reserved, and additional rooming has been acquired for those of you, including you, Mr. Kickington. Or, I should say, I believe it's Major Kickington, is the rank that you have been given by Mr. Oh, shoot. Starting to space the names. However, like yourselves, Mr. Kickington has been granted the rank and commission of Major, well within the OSS's cooperation.
Everyone except Alexander, and technically Nikos.
Unfortunately, the gap of enlisted to officer seems to be a little harder to justify, even when I put my stamp of approval on it. But feel free to roam about, make yourselves familiar once again, relax, gather yourselves, and when you all feel ready, simply send word for me, and I will meet you all in briefing room 3 in the same building here, admin 1, and we can begin the ever-long presentation on the state of the world. But if there's anything else you have for me, you are dismissed and free to do as you see fit for the time being. And you'll kind of go over, take that manila envelope that Alexander handed him, open it, and slowly starts to kind of casually look it over little by little. His brow slowly starting to raise. Occasionally he's looking up from it towards one of you and back down at it.
Torin is making eye contact the whole time.
I may... This is an interesting report. I'll definitely look into some of these. I may speak with a few of you at a later point in time, when you have the time.
Alex is very pleased with himself.
Just a happy little smile.
Now.
Seems to be some expenses here for rooming and other things. I will say, well, this is very thorough. I will admit much of this is outside of our need of concern or necessarily need to know. But, Oh. didn't think ham would be that expensive.
But you got the ham.
Why did you put the ham in there? Wasn't that a gift?
Not all of it. I mean, there's a couple of times that,
Also, wasn't the rest of that out of pocket?
Car 98.
Oh, everything's accounted for. Both expenses that we paid for out of pocket and expenses that were considered, losses. Everything is literally accounted for. So
I will definitely need a little more time to look this over and perhaps give me some time to determine what may actually be relevant to any of the OSS's needs, and I'll submit this back to you timely. Do any of you have anything else for me? Or might I be free to step away for lunch, and I would suggest you all do the same.
Sir.
Well, you mentioned food.
The mess hall, and of course the officers' mess, is entirely open and available to all of you, including you, Alexander.
thank you, sir.
Torrent's gonna step out and wander. I guess I'll roll a d12 for direction. This is truly just let's go somewhere.
Alrighty. Yeah, roll me a d4.
Or 4.
Actually, that works. Yeah, 12 works. 7 o'clock. Go. 7 o'clock is low left.
I don't know. This way-ish. Yeah, we're going this way-ish. This,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just kind of roaming, walking around, looking, kind of perusing. As you're walking about, it's the usual kind of hum and drum. Seems a lot of the personnel and office staff are making their way towards the various mess halls or cafeterias, or walking off-site to go get food out in town. Couple cars, small ones, going to and fro. Seems very casual and relaxed here compared to the sort of panicky humdrum and kind of spasticness that it used to have.
It's peaceful here. It's too peaceful here.
The next while, anywhere that the rest of you would like to go, or anything you'd like to look into?
Probably go get lunch in the officer's mess. Don't know where we're going next, so don't really have anything to go research, so.
Alright. Yeah, you guys will be able to hit up the mess hall unless anyone has anywhere else to go. And you'll be able to get lunch, some nice proper food made, a couple chefs on site. It's pretty comfy and casual for a good hour, hour and a half. You'll be able to just kind of enjoy before they start wrapping up.
Torrent's gonna walk to the barracks because that's a good idea.
Alright. What you looking to find, or what you looking to do within the barracks, or just heading back to your room?
I don't know. See the kind of people they're hiring these days. I don't know. Just it really is just wandering for the sake of looking at things. He actually hasn't been around very much in this area yet. So
Alright, give me
it's
perception.
A far larger facility than
Yeah. Give me a perception roll. Nice. As you were kind of noticing when you guys first arrived here, the very first time, it was almost exclusively Army and Army Air Corps staff, consisting pretty much of humans and elves and half-elves. Not very much else other than maybe a dragonborn or two. Obviously, some of the more magical creatures and beings like the moth dragon down beneath, and some of the kobolds doing the hidden away organization. But as you're walking around now, there's a little bit more of a diversity to it. Well, majority of the Army officer staff and many of the scientists are still human and elf. You do see a few more. Not many, but at least noticeable enough numbers. You do see 3 or 4 dwarves walking about. Nice kind of suits, looking perhaps like representatives of some company or agency. You do see a handful of orcs. You do see a couple, possibly half-elves or maybe even sea elves. There is a small number of dragonborn, lizard folk, a handful of other minor and in-between races roaming about here and there. It's before where it was like a 1 in 20, it's more like a 1 in 14, 1 in 15 are non-human or elf from the numbers that you're seeing. However, none of them seem to be military or uniformed personnel, but are contractors, scientists, arcane researchers, or things of that sort.
Cool. I mean...
But nothing really sticks out in particular. Nothing's really catching your eye at the time.
Yeah, I'll probably finish his walk and eventually meet up at the mess with the rest of them, probably. Yeah, he will.
Alrighty. Well, the rest of you'll be able to hit up lunch, and then after lunch, Rich, I believe you're poking me with you would like to hit up R&D, or at least peruse about there.
He typed in a BRB. I don't know how long ago that was.
Oh, shoot. There's no timestamp. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I also got the DM at, like, the same exact time. Yeah, you guys will be able to do lunch, unless you got anywhere in specific you want to go. Rich will give a little bit of a kind of interest in the R&D building, at least to peruse through the first bit of it, just to see what's going on or what all is in there. If anyone else wants to follow with them or walk through there, or if you got anywhere else that you guys would like to hit up, or anyone you would like to try to find. Anything you want to look into, perhaps adapt or see changed or addressed? We'll wait till Rich gets back and I'll address that.
Hey, Torrance got his own thing. He's walking around in the barracks, and there's probably people wondering how one of the kobolds got out of the basement.
Normally, you'd be right. However, you're dressed in relatively nice clothes. You got your shirt, got your vest on, wearing your spatty.
Yeah, we're all...
You definitely...
So people are wondering whose clothes the kobold that got out of the basement stole also.
Yeah, and where he got those guns?
Who's like armory sergeant's kid they just stole their clothes from.
He's walking, he's armed, he's well dressed.
Who did this kobold mug?
He's very obviously a third wave kobold, not a first wave like the ones underneath R&D. So it's not hard to notice that. Oh, okay, he's one of the normal intelligent kobolds.
The normal is not the intelligent kobolds.
One of the, what would be the words for it? Some people would say domesticated, others would say civilized.
Domesticated.
Many different opinions.
Domesticated kobolds.
It's one of them driving ones. Yeah, you'll still find a bit of a divide.
House kobold.
House kobold. You'll still find
like
some divide.
Sophisticated
kobold. Ones that might be mistaken as a short lizard folk. Yeah, what's it?
Check your DMs in a second here.
Oh, okay.
You can keep going on.
Alrighty. Oh, what is this? I will need to read this over then. Alright.
That's why Peter has been distracted the past few minutes.
Okay. I was wondering where the hell you went or what was going on. That makes sense. Okay.
I know how to cause absolute chaos in the barracks. I won't do it, but I know how.
If you want to. I mean, you guys got the afternoon until the evening before your briefing.
All you have to do is shout Major on deck.
It's not on deck for the Army.
No,
what do you say in the Air Force when an officer walks in?
Attention on deck?
Literally just say stand by and then 10 hut. That's it. You say stand by when the officer's on their way to let the room know that, hey, heads up. And then...
What does the officer do if he just walks in?
Pop up.
He just walks in, just
does someone notice and then just do
if he just walks in and goes, room 10 hut. That's it. That's all it is.
Someone has to notice.
But... No, Torin's not that kind of... As funny as it would be, he's not that kind of person.
Give me a... Hey, give me another perception, Torin. Or investigation, if you want.
23.
So one thing you do notice, there's no enlisted in this barracks. Everybody here is, in fact, an officer, which... makes for, especially in the intelligence and military police community, makes it not relaxed or laid back, but there's not quite the same amount of attention and 10 hut going on. A majority of your staff here are like 03s, 04s, captains, lieutenant colonels, majors. Every once in a while, you might see a warrant officer strutting about, acting like he's higher than a general, which in some ways they might be. But as far as enlisted personnel goes that you could potentially be like, oh, they need to snap at attention, there's not too many, but of the few there are, most of them are privates, maybe lance corporals, occasional corporal here or there, and they're mostly standing at the door, acting as runners, or... One of the things you'll definitely notice with that 23 is there's kind of that ruling here, especially when they're attached to certain groups. For example, anybody that you see that might be patched or marked as military police, when they are carrying paperwork or a briefcase or orders or acting as a runner, they seem to be immune to the perception of ranks higher than themselves, including officers, until their paperwork reaches its destination.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it anyways. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Still kind of fun in case you decide to try to do so.
Let the
you have to
intrusive thoughts win.
Let the intrusive thoughts in.
Torin walking in, like he hasn't earned the rank at all. He's just been given it. He just walks in the middle of a bitty room. It's like, damn, huh? Just for no fucking reason.
God.
Watch him be just like a rescue squadron. Nobody cares.
I'm a major.
Did I
yeah.
disconnect for a minute there?
Oh,
no, I think we did, Matt. Because I also did.
Oh shoot! You guys had a little bit of a blip.
Well, if
she's coming for us, Matt. Grab the guns.
Well, if we're waiting on Rich or anything else, I mean, Torin's gonna keep wandering. I'll let you talk to me as much as you want if you need to fill space.
Silver, are
take a
you
minute
back?
to read what I sent you?
I will in just a moment. Ah, okay, Silver's back. Hey, Silver. Rest of them are wandering about, doing lunch. Peter's going to submit a report that I'm going to read here in a moment. You said you wanted to go kind of stroll and gallivant around the R&D building?
Yeah, just kind of get around, get a lay of the facilities and everything. The research and development sounds neat.
Yeah, it is.
So he'd like to pay a visit and just kind of amble.
Yeah.
See what's what.
As you walk through, it doesn't seem too different from any of the other buildings. If anything, the rooms are a bit larger, the walls are a little bit cleaner, and the floor is marbled as compared to a nice wood or a kind of a less than stone usual flooring. Somewhat newer, if anything. As you walk through, though, it slowly goes from clean office environment to a little bit more industrial as you start making your way more towards the center of the building, winding your way left, heading westward towards the somewhat tighter hallwayed parts. You pass by a lot of different offices, many of them having much heavier doorknobs to them compared to your usual office. A lot of your glass panes are the frosted ones with the metal wiring thatched across it, as compared to just regular tinted glass. But after a little bit of walking and kind of strolling about, you do find yourself coming to a room that seems to have 4 elevators against the wall. Those nice metal grate elevators that are pulled open and closed by an elevator attendant. Each elevator attendant being some army uniformed personnel in their dress uniform with a Springfield rifle slung over their shoulder and a duty belt with a pistol on their hip, all standing at attention. You also see a couple other personnel standing by a front desk that is kind of acting like a sort of check-in desk that you have to walk by to the left or right of to get to the elevators at the end of this hall. And they'll look up, there's a female sitting behind it who will look up from the table towards you. Can I help you?
Oh, rightly no.
Oh,
just,
looking
getting
for
a view of the facilities.
Oh, very good. Might I ask who or what unit you're with?
Richard would remember the actual unit designation, rather than just Wondrous.
That is the designation.
Kind of is their designation.
No, well, I mean, you can call it that and everyone know who you're talking about because our actual name is fucking long.
Yeah.
It is the Special Purpose Magical and Arcane Science Research and Exploration Combat Company, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
find the notes. Either way, yeah, it's gonna rattle that off.
He'll be able to regurgitate that, and it'll take a half moment for it to kind of dawn on her. Oh, apologies, sir. I wasn't aware any of your personnel were on campus at the time. What can I do for you?
I'd just like to get a view of the facility. I'm rather fresh to the unit, as it were.
Oh. Well, if you would like a potential tour or anything of the sorts, or if there's any questions I can answer for you as far as this building or operations here goes.
Well, wouldn't do like a small tour of the facility if that can be arranged without too much trouble of you. But overall, like what building is this? Like I know that it's research and development, but it's really vague, and I have learned that most of that is intentional.
This was originally the Naval College many, many years ago, and has since then been renovated to be a hospital, to be a ward for a while. It was a barracks for a short time, and now operates as the research and development portion of the campus here, with the Naval Hospital now being the building to our west, and the barracks being the building to our southwest. The other buildings, housing the 310th Military Intelligence and U.S. Army Headquarters Administration offices. This operates primarily as the holding and research site for many of our sciences and scientists, many of our arcane researchers and wizards and things of the sort who look into different phenomena, different sciences, different magic to see how it can be utilized. Or just better understood. As far as the building here itself goes, beyond this point, you and no other field teams have access without explicit permission due to some prior events. However, the remainder of the building, should you take the staircase or one of the elevators upwards, you'll find many of these smaller private offices to speak to any of our researchers in whatever field or arcane college or scientific field that you'd like to perhaps inquire into or ask questions of. If you continue back down the hall towards the main lobby and continue east instead of this direction west, you'll come across many of the offices for individual researchers, scholars, and investigators, although their attendance here is a bit come and go, much like our field teams or yourself. But they would be the best to inquire on anything historical or perhaps ancient, be it chronomancy requiring or potentially magically investigative or mental and emotional empowered, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Behind me and through the elevators, as of late, has been listed as, unfortunately, in my opinion, off limits to any other than the research involved, where we often try to apply military purpose or use to a lot of the magics that are found, discovered, obtained, or attempt to be re-engineered to serve a stronger, better purpose.
I see. Now, out of curiosity, if I wanted to find someone who is a bit more familiar with the general history and some more specific things like Ghost Stone, do you have a researcher here that I could speak to on that? Preferably a subject matter expert?
Yes, that would actually, I would suggest looking in the west wing of Admin Building 3. We do have some American and Americana history professors and investigators there who would more than likely know exactly who to refer you to on that subject.
Hey, thank you, Mom.
Of course. Again, if there's anything else you should need, feel free to approach anyone like myself at any of the control desks. We can usually point you in the right direction.
He'll nod and kind of keep moving back onto the main causeway out there. Continue ambling, trying to figure out which one was Admin 3.
Give me investigation.
What, you can't see the giant red lighters above them?
The giant heads-up display above the buildings.
No, he's too short for that.
He doesn't have a massive, arrow pointing in a direction he needs to go or anything like that.
There's no orange paint on the wall to tell me where to go.
Yeah, everybody else over there playing, fucking World of Warcraft with quest markers and shit. He's over here playing Elden Ring.
Yeah,
gotta figure it out, dog.
Give me investigation, Richard.
Investigation, that's right.
It's a man's game. You gotta figure it out.
Nah.
Ooh.
Nah.
You're gonna
amble. You can't figure shit out. Never mind.
You're gonna be ambling for a while. The main reason being, the campus is kind of made for people 5 feet and taller. So it's really hard to see the little placards with the labeled map and layout of "You are here" with the labels, almost kind of like the picture that you're looking at currently of OSS headquarters in DC on Potomac Hill. So you're going to be ambling around for a little while. Perhaps another party member might bump into you, but it'll take you a little while of wandering around, questioning, looking, trying to figure out which building is what. Slowly but surely, you'll be able to start figuring out, well, U.S. Army Admin and OSS Building 2, thanks to the big placard on the front of it. OSS Building 1 with the 310th Military Intelligence on the top floors. And eventually you'll find the Intelligence Corps of the headquarters, or Headquarters for Intelligence Corps for the U.S. Army, is here. That's about as far as you'll get for the next little while as you amble and shamble about. What we're gonna do is a quick break, because trying to multitask and read at the same time is a little difficult. Let me give this report a read. If anybody would like to take 2 or 3 minutes to grab a quick drink while I browse over what Peter sent me.
That's good. Torrance smoking in the park. I think it's a park. It's not. It's a sort of just hump with grass and trees.
It's a quad.
After about 10 minutes, give me a perception check, Torn.
I'll just roll it. You can get to it when you want to.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Ah, okay. Alrighty. Yeah, you'll be able to submit that, Peter. And in due time, you might find a response to that. Likely it'll be the next day, but yeah, okay. And I've been able to give that a read. Yeah, I can work with that. Torn, as far as you sitting there having a smoke on the somewhat raised grassy platform, little time goes by until you see a younger ensign or perhaps a first lieutenant walking by who's giving you a little bit more of a notice as he sees you sitting there smoking. Keeps looking towards you a few times while walking past, but eventually just looks away. A few moments later, start to notice the same thing again with another passing lieutenant. 2 other contractors passing by kind of also give you a look.
What? Did I miss a no smoking sign? What?
One of the officers comes to a stop, looks over towards the guy next to him, steps back over, looks to you. Excuse me, Mr. Kobold? Sir, there's no smoking within the, within this area.
Why the hell not?
He'll step over to the side, walks over. Now, there is a little path that leads to a couple benches on top of this slight knoll, but he walks over towards the right side, where you do see a small kind of concrete structure dug into the ground, and we'll give a little bit of a kind of nice point towards it. The entrance to the ammo holds, sir. You're on top of the magazine for the facility, sir.
I see.
Torn is like actively squishing out the tip of his cigarette.
The younger
I was unaware of
the
that.
officer will give a very nice and respectful just nod and will turn about, catch back up to the other guy, continue walking and pass between the other buildings.
It's really nice to do that. Who plants grass on top of an armory anyways? What's benches?
Realize it is kind of funny that there's like a sitting and resting area on top of the last remaining ammunition bunker and magazine for what used to be the old kind of artillery fort and hospital.
Yeah, okay, Torn's just gonna wander away from there. That was awkward. Just that. I see.
Everybody up.
I see. Whether there's still ammo held in there is to be seen, but it is still a magazine and is still treated the same way.
It's like, oh, that's an air intake? I thought that was a really big ashtray.
Oh no. Yeah, you'll be able to meander on around for a little while. We'll pan on over. Alexander, what are you doing or going about? I see your token moving.
He's just wandering around. He's wondering if my old room is still here, my stuff is there or not, or if it got moved to storage.
It is, you have been given the new one attached to in parallel with the rest of Wondrous Companies towards the upper floor in the barracks. Your, glorified filing closet is likely no longer there. However, do give me...
He took everything from me.
Do give me perception. Rich, I need perception.
like to think Harry Potter will eventually become real in this world, but they're just a crazy sect of religious zealots off in the mountains in a castle somewhere.
Fucking muggles.
Who would be? It could so work in this universe. Oh yeah, those guys over in the mountains in Yorkshire. Yeah, we don't talk about them. They're weird.
Can you imagine like a magic school in the U.S.?
It's like, yeah, they need like they think they need wands and stuff, like unicorn hairs, and like they're weird.
Weird.
They take a steam train, like they're like polygamists or something.
Meanwhile, the American wizard with a fucking 870.
I cast machine gun.
Kablam!
As you guys are walking, Richard, you do notice Alexander passing almost directly by you, not quite noticing you as he seems to be a bit frustrated under his hat, walking towards the Intelligence Corps headquarters building as you pass by him, and can't help but notice his small stature. It's a little easier for you to notice compared to anyone else, considering you have to kind of purposefully look down to see him.
He's gonna 180 and just follow Alexander, having finally found a familiar face that he doesn't have to break his neck to talk to.
He's already muttering to himself.
I've literally been gone for like a couple of months and they just move all my stuff. And then they just decide to make new procedures.
Like, I need a hand moving things, do you?
He's gonna jump.
Oh, no, I should be good. I need to figure out where they put everything. It's just, I used to have an office over here, and they decided to just close it up, and I don't know where all my research went. I don't know where any of my books went. I don't know where any of my... I had so much stuff in there.
Well, they put it in some kind of storage facility? Do they have one of those here?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that out right now.
I got nothing better to do, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you want to tag along, I gotta figure out where I gotta go, though.
Yeah. So I've wandered around for the past hour trying to figure out where Admin 3 is.
Yeah, come on. I'll give you a little bit of a tour.
Yeah, he'll tag along.
All right. Where are you leading them to, Alexander?
Start at the Intelligence Corps HQ.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna see if anyone at the front desk knows where my stuff went.
As you'll step through, you'll find a relatively fit younger Army intelligence officer standing by. Looks up towards you, raises a little bit of a brow, seeing the two of you. Can I help you, sirs?
Yes, I used to be the occupant room 24A and admin 2, and I'm just trying to figure out where my stuff went.
Stuff, as in office stuff, sir?
Like, pretty much like I had an entire study in, well, I guess it's more of a closet, but to me it was like, my workstation. And I had all my papers in there, my books. I had, like, literally an entire catalog of things that just vanished into thin air, apparently.
You see him jogging his memory for a few moments. I do believe most all that was being housed in the west end of Admin 2 have since then been repositioned to Admin 3. Perhaps what department specifically were you working within, or what research field?
It was a classified one. Don't know if I can actually talk about it or not.
Understandable. The most information I can give then is not too long ago, Admin 2 had a restructuring. In fact, Intelligence Corps headquarters may be moving to Admin 2 as our needs are growing quite a bit by the day. most of the offices and work there has been absorbed or moved into other departments within Admin 3 or relocated to the R&D building.
Wonderful. All right.
I apologize, sir. Perhaps if there's any information you can give me, I could potentially point you the right way.
Yeah, where would you suggest I check first?
Likely in research and development, however, as you stated, if it was previously top secret for Admin 2, it is under R&D and will likely be inaccessible by most all personnel.
Alright, I guess I'll head over there. Thank you.
Of course.
Alright, so this pathway will...
He's gonna go outside.
This pathway should lead us right to what's called research and development. It's this large building over here.
Which he'll start going into the history of it. I'm very rusty on the lore, so...
Get a little bit of the same spiel that the lady at the reception desk for the lower floors gave you.
I guess what the lady at the desk say. It's said it used to be some kind of ward or something.
Yeah, it was actually. That's why it has such creepy vibes. Sometimes if you actually are quiet enough, you can, you hear like doors closed when you know you're by yourself and whispers. It's actually kind of a lot of fun.
That sounds great, honestly.
You guys will be able to enter through the front doors and enter the large central kind of lobby that leads to two different upward staircases, a low hallway, and a main kind of causeway going both left and right. To the right, there's a lot of the smaller offices on the different floors for different research and development, specific like private offices. And obviously to the left is more of your rooms, housing, direct testing, and then obviously access to your underground area. However, it is a bit more cordoned off as of late.
I used to do a lot of my work here. I don't know why they made me literally have an office all the way on the other side, but I don't know, whatever. Let's see here.
He's gonna head over to directory and start sort of pointing down at the lower parts of it and then jumping up and trying to reach the higher ones.
One thing you notice, Alexander, the directory has changed a bit. Where it used to show all of the above ground floors, the 2 floors beneath ground, and then it would show the elevator shafts and the staircases to the deep underground area. It's since then been changed. You can only see the above ground areas mapped out. Everything beneath that is no longer there.
They really did do a restructure.
Seeing Alexander, jump and try and reach things, he's gonna lace his fingers and offer it kind of like a stirrup, so you can just step up on it without having to jump and everything. Hey, hand up.
Yeah, I can't really see where the top of the directory is.
I'm gonna do that and just lift him, basically just press him straight up with elbows out.
Where'd you get standing there looking like a fucking Rugrats cutaway, the Harengon raising up the goat so you can see the map proper. Being a bit closer, give me investigation, Alexander. Yeah.
Investigation.
No, that's investigation.
Tell me where you are. Where's the rest of you?
What do you mean I'm right here? I'm right here, not right there. Yeah, as you start pouring over this a lot closer and now at proper level, the map has stayed the same as far as the above ground goes. However, it's a little more detailed. A lot of the offices aren't specifically just a wing. Like, for example, the 4th floor isn't just these 4 offices apply to this. It's now labeled properly with the different professor or inhabitant of each office. And it's not necessarily just like a whole wing kind of overall design. But yeah, the 2 below ground floors and all of the deep underground area is not even on the map. It cuts off at the elevator access to below ground, and there's nothing even implying how deep that goes or what the other levels are or if they're even there, other than the fact that there's an elevator.
Like that, I get like the classified stuff. I don't mind if they incinerate that, but like I had a whole collection of books in there. Like I'm not talking like, research books, more like, had a few novels. I had a couple of history books. Had a little bit on demon law, but not too many. I was kind of dabbling a little bit with that stuff, and I don't know. I kind of want my books back. Oh, let's see here. Maybe these people can help. He's gonna find the room and then start making his way.
Yeah, I'll back down, and Rich will just follow behind him, just looking, kind of like rubbing at the corner of his eye on occasion.
The 2 of you will be able to walk your way about, and you'll eventually be able to find a kind of a record-keeping office, and you'll notice that the door is one of those doors that the top half opens, or the entire door opens and the top half is left open with the little door. Yeah, that was the name. I always forget what this is called. A Dutch door, where it's got kind of like the sticking out platform in the middle, so you can rest your arms on it or set something. And there is someone sitting down at their desk just beyond it on the other side of the half door.
I imagine all they see is a top hat.
In fact, yeah, just the top of some ears and the top of a hat. And there's a brief look over towards it, then look back through their desk, not really paying it any mind.
His little hand will try to reach for the bell.
Roll me dexterity. You see Alexander raise up on one paw and try to one hoof, try to reach up, and you don't hit the top of the bell, you touch the side of it, and you hear on the other side of the door on the floor the ting 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 ting. Huh? Oh. A chair kind of groans, he'll get up, you hear the bell get picked up, set down, and slowly a somewhat older civilian gentleman, button-up shirt with a tie, leans forward and over and looks to you guys over the top of the Dutch door. Hello, gentlemen, can I help either of you?
Yes, I used to have room number because I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if my stuff was relocated or what have you regarding it.
I do believe that was part of the restructuring. You might find those in Admin 3, or, were they of a personal nature?
Well, I know the classified stuff's like, whatever, I don't care about it. I had, like, personal effects, like, novels, books, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to figure out where that stuff would have been.
There has been a small divide for personal and official work and paperwork as of late to keep things a little more organized than they were previously. Any personal works or items will likely have been kept in your personal room. Have you not been here recently?
No, I haven't. I didn't even have a chance to pack up my office. I was literally, things happened. I got pushed out of my position. They put me into field work. I didn't have a chance to really clean or inventory my
stuff and was sent away and said, "Don't worry about it. We'll take care of the rest," with no receipt or any sort of indication where the stuff would have went. So I'm kind of just lost.
That's unfortunate, but the needs of the army are such. I would suggest perhaps speaking to, if you have a dorm room or place that you're staying that is on site, speaking with the building chief or admin who may be able to help you track that down. If you do have a personal room, any effects as such would have been delivered there, if you haven't checked as of yet.
I guess I should just check my room then, I guess. I haven't even been in there yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might I ask which unit or detachment you're involved with?
I don't even know anymore, honestly. We keep changing and all that stuff.
And yourself, sir, are you perhaps in the same unit or affiliation? Looking over to you, Rich.
Hey,
And might I ask
into
what unit that is?
He'll rattle off the full government name once more.
Hang on, I'm gonna DM it to you so you can
No,
do
no,
it
no.
yourself.
I just pulled that there.
At least send it to me, because I'm...
Yeah.
Huh?
Good.
I was saying, please DM it to me, because I do have like a goldfish brain, so I already forgot what it's called.
Yeah, we're part of the Special Purpose Magical and Arcane Science Exploration and Research Combat Company, too.
Ah, you're with the British task force then. Yeah, you should have a... I do believe your barracks and rooms would be on the top floor in the Southwest Barracks building, the former Naval Hospital. I would dare say if you had any personal items, they should be in your rooms there.
Okay, so I do have a room now. I used to sleep in that office of mine.
If you are with, I believe you're addressed as Wondrous Company for short. I believe any of our English OSS operatives are housed almost entirely out of the barracks and the west halls of Admin 3, although I may be mistaken.
About the American ones, I thought I was assigned, through DC. I've never even been to England.
Are you perhaps with Army military intelligence, or are you with the 310th, or are you more so with the OSS?
See, that's kind of where I'm lost. I'm pretty sure I'm with the OSS. I was under Wondrous Company. I know that.
So remember the way, this is out of character, the way I've understood it this whole time is the way Wondrous Company works is we're attached to whoever's nation we're in. So we were formed by the British, but right now we exist under the 310th.
Yep.
And while we were in the Confederacy, we existed under Confederate intelligence. And
Yeah,
that's who our reports get to.
Yeah, Alexander doesn't understand that hierarchy because he's been under the OSS's thumb for like the last, I can't remember, 5 years. I gotta read my lore again.
Good couple years.
But it's been a considerable amount of time, so he's not really tuned into this whole like surrogate company where we're just attached to whoever needs us. He's more of like, I know a solid structure and nothing outside of that solid structure exists because I've only known this one structure. That's why he's so confused. So it's mostly in character more than anything.
No worries. Yeah, as you kind of echo that, he'll give a nod for a moment. I must admit that won't help with narrowing it down. However, if you are looking for personal effects, I would suggest checking your room. That would be the most likely place, especially if you've not been here for a while. If not there, I would try West end of Admin 3, perhaps, as I believe Wondrous Company and a handful of their supporting operatives and paperwork is housed out of there.
I will go. I'll go check my room, I guess. Remembering now something about being told about the barracks, so he'll head to the barracks.
Alright. I'll give a nice little nod as you guys are to walk away, set the bell back down on the edge there, and you hear him shuffle and go back to his seat. As, the two of you will be able to make a nice stroll across the commons once again, and head your way on down towards the barracks building. Achu, Nikos, and Peter, are the three of you doing lunch, or you guys eventually browsing about after you submit your report, Peter, or what are the three of you up to?
Yeah, probably just having
not
lunch
technically
and
a report, but yeah, just
chilling.
Just kind of chilling.
You know,
Okay, good,
Alexander,
don't work
I
for me.
think what we...
Okay,
Sorry,
good.
go ahead.
What's up, Achu?
It's just I said I was smoking crack, so don't worry
God.
Just kidding, that's not a thing yet. Sort
And
of.
that's why we need to start doing piss tests.
Look, you're gonna have to strap me down and get that piss out of me, you little fella.
Terrible.
Oh, no.
is willing to say smoking crack, but still calls him a little fella.
Look, smoking crack will get you demonetized on YouTube, but saying slurs and everything will. So, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Whatever you say, fucking Biden.
You're just mad at me because I'm black. I see how it is.
Terrible.
Black too, you short stack.
He's black too.
Careful, careful. We might get Nox excited. Saying those
About?
words.
What?
Short stack.
Hey. I'm just
That's the way I did
saying.
it.
Yeah,
It's derogatory towards short people. I disapprove.
Okay, midget.
All right now. Just because you're taller than most of us here doesn't mean there's not equalizers.
as the two of you are walking along that kind of paved road area, you do pass by the little kind of sun. I'm trying to think of the way that it would be described. It's kind of an alcove of the building that sits down kind of like a big outdoor porch, but it's fully walled in with almost full windows on all sides and on the ceiling. A nice outdoor kind of sitting area to eat in. As the two of you are walking along there, you are able to see the head and shoulders, or even more so, of the other three party members sitting in there just enjoying some food, relaxing, maybe having some coffee or tea.
You know, Alexander, it gives me an idea. I think what we need to do is get a rather large coat and everything. That way, whenever we run into this whole thing, because you kind of reach the bell or see that map and whatnot, you just stand on my shoulders and I'll look around and you can just, I'll be up there. I just need to get you some kind of thing so where the hands can be reached out like that.
I think I've seen that in a Three Stooges episode somewhere.
Who are the
Are you
Three Stooges?
complaining about things not being tall enough? Or short enough for you?
I just couldn't reach a lot of stuff due to my stature.
Could start wearing stilts.
You'd think they would have made adjustments for that because that lady in R&D has all those kobolds.
Right?
You think there might be a community that would actually activate or I can't talk now. Advocate for, short people or anyone else with disabilities. Almost like an American Disability Act or something.
That seems like a more productive thing to try and design rather than trying to convince people to urinate in a cup. That seems like it'd
You're
be
not
right up your
wrong
alley.
there. And you guys had to get me to verify, yes, the Three Stooges has been active since 1922.
Yeah. Tord, as you're walking by, you see Rich and Alexander standing, talking over the top of the little pony wall through one of the open windows to the rest of the party who are sitting inside that sort of outdoor, mostly covered over dining area.
Why are we standing out here?
Because we're walking out here.
Because this is the officers' club and Alexander is a sergeant.
Yeah, I came to ask you a quick question. I can ask you a question.
Well, that's awkward.
Do you know where our rooms are?
Is that me? You asking me?
I'm asking in general.
Floor 3, on the barracks end facing the Potomac. My room is the one that the tree smacks up against.
You didn't have to lean into that.
Wow. I mean, at least it's better than a wall.
He's just laying there trying to sleep, and it's just
Or no, but it's not even a window.
You know what's worse than having a wall is having a window and looking out that window just to have another building blocking all your view. I've had that.
I just wanted it for air, and this time of year I can't even get that because I'm allergic to the pollen from that particular tree.
That's unfortunate.
Damn.
Protection from poison affect allergies?
Yes.
Do you really... Is it really worth it to cast protection from poison, a second level spell every day just to breathe some air outside?
Yes.
in my room?
Depends on how much you want the air, I guess.
I just go outside in the end. It's what I'm used to doing. Especially given this area's history, I would like to have all of my magic on me at any given time.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's why I have my gun. I get it.
I don't know why you have your gun on you. This place is probably the most secure place you can ever be, but okay.
Yeah, well, aren't you glad I had it when we went down to the basement and found you? It worked out then, sorta.
I recall you vanishing a lot during that, though.
What do you mean a lot?
Nothing. I gotta go check my room. Thank you very much.
No, what do you mean a lot? How does one vanish a lot?
Alexander's just goat hoof walking off, just do.
I gotta find my stuff, man.
You'll be able to walk your way on over. Nice short walk, head through one of the side entrances. You find the main staircase, or at least one of the main staircases on the east and west end. Zigzag your way up to the 3rd floor, get to the central hall. Start walking down, and very quickly you start to notice about halfway down some of the familiar placards. Major Johnson, Major Choikov, Major Levencroft, and then you see one that's unmarked at the moment, but did previously have a name in it. And then you see another little placard that says AMB Kickington. And then at the very end you see GEN Zagvros.
Well, interesting. You got a room. I don't see my name on any of these.
Is yours the one that's not marked yet?
Yeah, probably. I think it's because nobody really knows my full name, so maybe.
He's gonna take a peek in there if he can.
I'll be able to reach up, grab the knob, and push the door open. It's not locked at the moment. as opens up. It's your nice standard officer's room, despite being enlisted. Got the bed in the corner. It's like your kind of like a 12 by 15 room, give or take. It's got the one window looking outwards in the very center. Bed on the opposite side, across from a small closet, coat rack, little table. Next to the table and chair, though, with the lamp on it, you do see 3 of your old filing cabinets are stacked up there. As to how full they are, I'm not really sure, but the 3 metal, sort of heavy industrial filing cabinets you had are all stacked and sitting there, a little bit of dust having gathered to them. And then beside it is a stack of around, give or take 20 or so books that have been somewhat hastily but nicely just stacked up on the floor beside the filing cabinets.
Thank God, there they are. He's gonna start rifling through and make sure everything's accounted for.
Ed, it'll take you a little bit of time, but as you dig through, you'll eventually get an account that almost all but maybe 1 or 2 books and any of the manuals and things of that sort that would be considered operational security and stuff like that have been confiscated or put somewhere else, perhaps a library or information hold, but all your personal books or anything that would be considered personal is in fact there.
Good. It's the stuff he was looking for. With a sigh of relief, he'll wipe his forehead. Alright, we're good. Crisis averted.
Well, that's good.
A lot of these are really hard to find, and I've been looking. Literally every time we stop at a library, I've been trying to find these books specifically. Not that they're much help, but hey, there's something. Hey, plus also, I got Chicken Soup for the Soul. This is one of the best books out there.
Hey, you gonna eat that Salisbury steak?
Go right ahead.
Just reach over and just fucking yoink it.
Oh my god. Just grabbing the fucking hamburger patty, military grade Salisbury steak, just pluck.
It's literally rubber.
Might as
It's
well.
just a giant thing of rubber.
You know,
Remember, we're at the O Club. We get the nice stuff.
They get
Yeah, I was about to
nice
say, I would
Salisbury
hope
steak.
that it would have been
He's into
better than
Salisbury steak.
It's half hamburger meat, half Spam.
No, it's all hamburger meat. This is the Officers Club in DC.
True.
Bro, we have like a black guy coming around serving us food.
True. I am curious why General Zagros ordered Salisbury steak, but to each their own.
I don't know. He guy just dropped it off. I didn't order this.
Some guy just brought him one for no
He's
reason.
too nice to say no. The server forgot my coffee. Oh, I can't call him now. It's too awkward.
So he just does the thing where he keeps scooting the mug closer and closer to the edge of the table, just like, come on, man, please.
Notice I need more coffee. I can't ask for it. God. No. Why haven't you eaten your food? Is everything to your liking? Yeah, I don't have a fork set, sir. Oh! You didn't tell me you didn't have one the last half hour.
Supposed to notice these things. Attention to detail.
You're not one of those people, are you, Nico?
Nah.
His mom was the type of mom that would flip her shit. There was no ketchup packets in my son's Happy Meal.
Just be like, she'd do the thing where the finger goes up. Excuse me, waiter.
No, it's Zagros' mom. She'd raise a finger and, like, 2 hoplites would jump over the counter at the McDonald's just start beating the dude up.
What appears to be the issue, ma'am? They're out of ketchup packets. They're out of ketchup packets. Get him!
Get him!
Get him! She literally grabs him by the wrist and be like, "Come, son, we're leaving," before this McDonald's burns to the ground.
Spoiled rich kids, Nico's is just a great time.
Are you the manager here? We're gonna have to check your fees right away. Please step aside, ma'am. We're looking for ketchup packets.
God. He wasn't that spoiled, but yeah, he had his own private chef and whatnot. Especially on his private study island.
Yeah, he wasn't that spoiled. The man had a private study island and sank a boat every day to get there.
No,
Incredibly spoiled.
So
insanely spoiled.
He's so used to the set.
Luckily, he got over it with age, but yeah.
He just sits down at the table and like the fork isn't there, and he just puts his hands flat on the table and stares straight ahead and has a panic attack.
Oh my god.
The room closes in for some reason. Shooting helicopter rotors.
I don't even know what that is.
There's no bendy straw with my fast drink.
Just in full reverb.
Hey, Nikos, you can eat that. Salisbury steak.
Oh no. Starts tunnel visioning on the Salisbury steak.
Now I'm dizzy from laughing. Thanks.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. The rest of you out there at lunch, after a little while, you'll realize you'll probably be able to...
Thank you.
Oh. Probably be able to start making your way over to the briefing room after the couple hours, and the two of you that found your barracks rooms and found where you were provided the same room as the others. Dare we say Major, or also applicable Ambassador Kickington. It's the same room, nice comfy bed, nice sheets, painting of some stuffy dude, probably from the older history of this country that you understand to be America. Nice little desk.
Is it still everything normal sized, or is it sized appropriately?
Everything is still normal, human sized.
Perfect.
So it's a very big bed for you. It's like, whoa.
There's so much room for activities. Sorry. Out of character.
The closet's like a whole nother bedroom, just whoa. There's a pull-up bar and a workout room in my closet.
Can't reach the pull-up bar.
Oh no.
I mean, hell yeah, you can. You can jump that high. That little motherfucker got hops. What you talking about?
The two of you will be able to tour your rooms, realize you got everything, and then some, and eventually make your way back down to the cafeteria area in Chow Hall for Admin 1. Run into the other party members as later evening will start to roll around, and all of you will be able to assemble yourselves in the second or third briefing room, which, unlike the one in England, which is basically a college kind of, what's the word for it?
Lecture hall?
Lecture hall, thank you. Where you got a whole bunch of stacked levels of tables and chairs all looking down towards a small stage. This one's more a table at the front of the room and just rows of small desks lined up. The single individual person chair attached to the folding table that raises up and down in front of it. Nothing inside the room. A couple maps of the continental US on the wall, a couple international maps here and there, but empty classroom setting. The chalkboard had something written up on it, has since then been erased a couple times over. Nobody inside the room currently. You guys have full kind of ownership of the room and where you want to go and whatever you want to do for the time being until the major should show up.
This takes me back. Hey, Nikos, you can eat that Salisbury steak.
What Salisbury steak? Why is there just one on the floor here?
Salisbury steak sitting next to him and it's still steaming.
And Nico's just like looking to one side, and behind him, the server from the O Club just comes up, puts a plate down, and walks away. And this has just been happening all day.
Just keeps following him around.
Turns out some drunk lieutenant colonel thought it would be funny to prank the foreign general.
Torin just leans over to Peter.
I I told the restaurant manager that he needs a Salisbury steak every 25 minutes to sustain his metabolism.
Your gyro, sir?
Sorry, put on gyro.
Jesus.
Sir, your gyro there?
Made you a gyro. Here you go.
So what the hell is this?
Thank you. Yes, that's definitely.
Massa, sir, here is your gyro, sir.
So I was asked to bring in this here gyro.
It just hands me like a fucking like a shitty chalupa.
You heard it here first. A gyro is just a shitty chalupa.
Honestly, a chalupa is a shitty gyro.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
What even is a chalupa but a burrito?
Torn's gonna get bored, take out his knife, and scratch Torn was here in the bottom of the school desk.
Fucking close.
Roll me sleight of hand.
23.
Torn was here will be on the underside of desk 233 for who knows how many years into the future.
That's gonna wind up in some fucking middle city school in the 80s.
It honestly is.
They're gonna be sitting there learning about stuff, and the kid's gonna be going like, bleh, land on the desk, feel around the bottom in the middle of history class. Take a look at it, and then look back up at the projected picture on the screen. It's gonna be Kobold Vice President Torrin Levencroft or something.
Oh no.
Watch him be one of those kids that adds to it, goes underneath there and just writes, smells.
Torn smells. I got him good.
Got him.
That's what you get for being a Democrat.
Hey, it's one of the classic 1940s Democrats. Yeah,
Hey,
cool.
listen, the Democrat Party left me, okay?
Torn starts the fucking Kobold party.
See, I'm more of the Southern First kind of party. You know, Huey Long, everything. You know, it's...
Huey Long of the South First Party. Pretty sure he's campaigning in Florida for some reason.
Torn explaining is like, I may be a Democrat, but at least I know what a boy and girl is.
Every man a king.
Real progressive, every man and woman a king. Yeah, you know.
Everyone a king. Huey Long.
Everyone's
he
a king.
cares about everyone.
You know, Huey Long, George Wallace, the Southern First Party.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I feel like they actually would hate each other, but that's not the point. But
in this universe, they actually probably would hate each other,
No,
but in this universe, they'd be called
100% be in different parties.
They'd be called the Golden Party, or the Golden
No,
Circle.
they'd be in different parties.
Yeah.
They'd be in different parties.
The Southern Confederate Congregation. Are you even a
Long
party?
would be in like Long would be in like the Populist Party, and Wallace would probably be in the Democrat Party.
Yeah, knowing Wallace's family connections, yeah, probably.
Everyone's just sitting in this desk, looking uncomfortable, smoking a cigarette, like checking over his shoulders. Like,
I feel like I'm about to be hit by a ruler.
Okay, Bart Simpson.
Did you even attend school? I thought you stayed at the museum until you came to England.
I stayed within the museum. Yes, I was socialized.
A strange way to put that.
School is an essential part of the learning process for youth. I mean, if it keeps them alone, they turn out weird.
No, I understand that side of it, but just the way you phrase that, it's kind of...
Makes it sound like you're a horse someone was waving a flag in front of.
It was
or
a
a
judgment
dog, you're trying
decision.
to...
If I was being raised to integrate with society, they had to put me with people. Yeah, so I was socialized.
Yeah. Makes sense, it just sounds kind of weird.
I mean, so do you. Idiot. Sorry, it's just this desk is just bringing me back to a place.
I don't think that desk is bringing you anywhere.
No, it's just shut up.
The door will open up and
looking at the desk, looking at Torin, not
bringing
moving.
you back. It's not like there's slates anywhere.
No, it's just an old feeling. I feel like I should be like that's passing notes, and then there's just getting in a playground fight and then getting expelled because I'm way stronger than a standard 12-year-old. Regular stuff.
Major will walk past you all and go to the front desk, sets down a little map that he unrolls, sets a couple envelopes next to it, and folds one of them.
And then he sits on a whoopee cushion!
God.
Major.
Looks up towards all of you, leaning forward. Just being a bit more casual with it. Well, I'm sure all of you are used to doing this. A little less formality here, but nice briefing. I guess we'll start off first with any updates or questions or anything in particular you would like me to address before I give you the spiel from west to east.
Hey.
I'll take that as a no then. Alrighty. Starts to flip through one of the open envelopes, spreads a couple papers out. They look like small 3 and 4 page kind of dockets with maybe a picture or two attached to each one with a paperclip. And starts thumbing through some of them. Well, a fair bit has changed and gone off and on. However, your cooperation with the Confederates and the Signal Corps has given us a bit more insight into what is going on within their sphere of control. And with that, we've also been granted a bit more information, as well as giving them a bit more access to what we know. While it's a bit limited at the time, it's relatively nice to see cooperation finally being had, and we have you to thanks for that. In addition to that, our English brethren across the Atlantic, as well as north of us, are giving a lot more cooperation and willingly handing over more information. So much so that we are actually getting a branch, particularly those in direct support of yourselves, who are going to be establishing a couple offices here at DC, particularly on Potomac Hill. So we're looking forward to the information sharing that is to come from that. As far as international incidents, occurrences, and happenings, let's see. Hyksos Company, I believe I pronounced that correctly, in Egypt, have reported the rising amount of sandstorms and interference in the area with any flights and observation has drawn down a significant amount. In fact, the sandstorm that was building up for the last few months has dissipated almost entirely, dumping all of its sand.
Hello?
Oh.
It did it again.
Oh, did it cut away on you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Rip.
Damn.
See, I told you. I told you they're coming for us.
Oh, no. A little bit of internet drop. The sandstorms that were occupying the airspace over Palestina and Egypt and Jordan and the region have...
Hang on. What did I miss?
What was the last part you heard?
Torin slaps Peter on the back of the head. Wake up!
Something about the sandstorms drawing down, and then, like, my internet cut out.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much where I picked up. The sandstorms that were increasing in the airspace over Jordan, Palestina, and Egypt have dwindled down to almost non-existence. Hyksos Company in the region have reported that all of the sand seems to have been transported or flown itself and dissipated in the ocean just off of the ancient city of Alexandria. We're not entirely sure as to what means, however, it would seem the amount of sand that has moved has extended the beachhead by a pretty vast amount, upwards of a mile. It's being looked into at the time.
Nikos,
But... Oh?
You think the god of cowards is trying to usurp your uncle?
Maybe.
So I also remember the last time we dealt with sandstorms in Egypt.
Yeah, see, there's sand. It sounds familiar to me too, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
We've come to an understanding that the right arm of Horus, the third son, or perhaps it was the second son of, I believe it was Ramses II. I'm not quite as caught up as I'm sure some of you.
Himenweth,
the god of cowards.
Precisely. I didn't want to attempt to recite his name.
That's why we call him the one-to-be god of cowards.
I've never heard that title before, but...
It's because when we encountered him the first time, he ran away like a little baby faster than we could possibly catch him.
Ah.
To a different dimension, even.
Well, there's reason to believe he's behind some of these sandstorms, including the small, alleged, roaming, undead, skeletal, ancient Egyptian army, who hasn't been seen for quite some time now, disappearing just after the sandstorm ceased. Why they're extending the beachhead or attempting to, what some suggest be bury over the alleged sunken city off the coast of Alexandria, we're not entirely sure, but it is something that would be worth looking into. However, the airspace is freed up, and Hyksos company has been able to entertain other endeavors in the region, including investigating and attempting to dig up some of the remains of the Library of Baghdad and the Hanging Gardens, as well as entertain some diplomatic meetings with the Prince of Afghanistan, which I will get to in a moment. Other occurrences on the African continent, South Africa, and the area around Rhodesia has seen an entire, we'll say, ceasefire for the time being. The involvement of some members of OSS Field Team, as well as those of the SOE, seem to have conducted some surgical strikes into the Congo with the cooperation of the Belgians, and have silenced the German imperial loyalists, at least for the time being, or driven them further into hiding. They haven't been a threat or conducted any strikes for a while now. We believe they may be potentially withdrawing to rebuild forces, or perhaps have been fully driven out of the region. We're not entirely sure as of yet, but it is something we are looking into further as much as possible. In addition to that, the Australian brethren, through the British, inform us that the, if I'm reading this correctly, animated and living wall drawings and cave drawings from the hill in Central Australia are no longer a threat. I was unaware this was a threat to begin with, but it seems reports of a rainbow dragon menacing some of these small areas across Central Australia's deserts, as well as cave drawings from the Aboriginal tribes coming to life and assaulting some of the locals in the region have ceased. There may be call to investigate that in due time, so we will be keeping you or one of the other units updated if that should be a need. As far as the official roster of missions, tasks, and available things to investigate for Wondrous Company, should you choose to depart from here, depart from OSS headquarters in Canada, or depart from OSS headquarters in London, based upon wherever you should choose to see to next. However, currently operating out of here, we would like to suggest operating and looking into things in North and South America or Africa, as that is largely becoming a lot of our sphere of influence. But, of course, the floor is open, and as nothing is pressing, unlike the meeting in Vienna or the investigation into wherever you happen to go into northern Norway and northern Europe, the floor will be yours. But I will rattle through here for the time being. I understand some of you may have persuasions towards some areas more than others. Let's see here. In the Pando Valley region of central Utah, it would seem some Fae artifacts and fauna have made their way through and are starting to overgrow the region. The fairies of the Southern Vale are asking for assistance in investigating what seems to be a very large aspen tree forest that is growing faster and more aggressively than it should. They believe Fae influenced from the Fae realm may be to blame for this. In the Uttarakhand region of the Himalayan mountains in British Raj, a group of, let's see here, Hindu monks and a English explorer for the London Archaeological Society have come across a iced and buried over caravan that they believe to be of Bactrian descent in historical finding, thus giving it a higher historical relevance than many other things in the region, and they're asking for a winter-capable group to investigate it. Worst case scenario, and as being suggested, waiting until the summer months when everything is not covered in ice is recommended. Thanks to Hyksos Company no longer being involved with controlling roaming sandstorms. Okay. Thanks to their now wider availability, in the Gogola Citadel of Afghanistan, known as the City of Kings or the Screaming City, a English military escort and diplomats who have been working with the Afghan royalty are being asked to aid in the, we'll say, by force or perhaps diplomatically clearing out, specifically King Mohammed Zahir, the Shah in the region, is asking for assistance with potentially Soviet-aligned and armed raider groups that have taken to the Citadel and are reinforcing it and building it up, conducting small raids from the area. The Afghan Shah is promising future cooperation with Western and Allied efforts in return for clearing out the Citadel of any threats that they seem to be unable to do themselves.
I don't want to worry about that territory. There's no resources there.
No, but it does defend British Raj from the Soviet Union.
Precisely.
The British used to play diplomatic games with the Russians during the last century. They called it the Great Game.
Oh, yeah.
And there has been Soviet pressure into many of their southern states and Soviet republics who have kind of been absolved of their self-control and ability and completely taken over by a very, at least for the time being, confused Soviet leadership, and we're hoping to exploit that as much as possible before they start fully clamping down on a lot of their border states to the south, including Afghan involvement, especially if help is being requested. We're hoping to do what we can. In addition to that, the island of Ponape in the Caroline Islands, the Japanese, as some of you may know, were granted control of islands of the former German Empire after the end of the Great War, and this one the SASR operatives in the region are requesting OSS or SOE involvement. It would seem the Japanese Imperial Colonial Empire wants, let's see here, assistance in clearing out magical and benign presence in what seems to be some sort of monastery or castle or grave site of some sort. And the locals in Australia and SASR would like that to not happen, as it seems to be a pretty stiff way to keep the Japanese colonial forces from expanding further south, as they want to build a naval base on that same location. We're somewhat unsure which one to aid. Obviously, we would like to help the indigenous and the SASR, who have been using it as a sort of backdoor to slow down Japanese colonial expansion, but this can also be a good way to get in with the Japanese colonial empire portion to perhaps get more information and perhaps get personnel within their ranks, or at least a sphere of influence, so that we can start further information gathering activities. Whatever team should go down there would be granted full jurisdiction as to which ends they would like to pursue. On behalf of the U.S. Army, a area known as 29 Palms outside the valley of that region, known as MAB or HAB Mining Company, are reporting some strange occurrences, and the U.S. Army, wishing to purchase that area for a future base, are now having to reconsider. However, that isn't stopping the Marine Corps from deciding to press through and purchase that valley to place a camp. Before it can be done, though, the region needs to be cleared of any cryptid and strange magical occurrences, where it is being requested a magical capable team investigate the creatures, or just strange occurrences. I'm not entirely sure what goes on there, but we're being assured it's of a evil nature. I'm not entirely sure, but investigating the valley and clearing out any strange magical creatures or what have you, so that the Marine Corps can build possibly one of the most uninhabitable bases for whatever means.
There's no bias in that at all, is there?
Sounds like a bad idea to me.
Well, the Army thought so, but after the Army decided to pull out on the bid, the Marine Corps saw that as reason to exclusively make sure something is put there.
Yeah, but it's not gonna take. There's no way. There's no infrastructure there. Terrible idea.
Don't know. It might be good for making them tougher or something. That might be the
turtle
thought
there
process.
That is only there, that is highly protected.
I wouldn't know. I know the HAB Mining Company have found pretty good success digging for deep earth minerals, at least until that well began to dry up. I couldn't tell you of the strategic need or use of that, but they are requesting that be cleared by a magically capable team that's willing to investigate it. In addition to that, thanks to your efforts specifically, I am told, British and Confederate cooperation is underway. However, a very large shipment, British shipment, in fact, of zinc that was bound for Cuba and Florida, which would actually strongly affect U.S. Navy endeavors as well, as we do trade quite a bit in natural resources, has been lost somewhere just off the island.
Sunk?
It is zinc. It is sunk. Just off the island of Belize, currently under British control, and Confederate Ocean Patrol has disappeared. Locals are suggesting that the Great Blue Hole is to blame. Not quite sure what to make of that, but I am assured Wondrous Company and yourselves are somewhat attuned to deep sea and shallow water monstrosities and may be able
You
to
could
help
say
in that. I was told not to pry, but you may be familiar with Rhodes, which is why it's being suggested Wondrous Company undertake this investigation to find the lost shipment. We also understand, because of your involvement in Rhodes and with the Italians, Pogevlia Island, Italy is drawing particular interest, especially among those in London, who would very much like to see what involvement can be done with non-military Italian involvement, very particularly with, let me check my notes here, I believe they are the branch associated with the SOE. Let's see here, I believe it's one of the British families. Some major general leading off the SOE field group seems to have personal family involvement in this island in some way, shape, or form. And with the Italians, specifically the Vienna Arcane Society. They're asking for help in clerical cleansing and sanctifying of an island. Apparently this island being used as an asylum and potential research site has been closed down as necrotic and undead plague-like activities seem to be taking over, and the Vienna Arcane Society is asking for help from any international group willing to conduct this operation. This is potentially a way that Wondrous Company can get a bit more information at the same time of what Italy is doing in the region. As you can understand, we can't exactly freely float British operatives or naval vessels in and out of the area as of late. Tensions are growing a bit high in North and Central Africa with the Italians, and this may be a good way to get a foot back in the door. Let's see here. Back on the American front, in the Cumberland Mountain regions of Tennessee in the Confederate States, seems a bunch of locals are complaining, much like the Flatwoods monster in the Virginia region. Strange magic occurrences seem to be happening. Some people are disappearing, and a lot of fingers seem to be pointed towards local mythos and Cherokee superstition. Something about monstrosities or a giant snake, and people being turned to stone. I personally don't see why a army field team couldn't undertake this, but because of its magic and potentially ancient presence and potentially sensitive nature, they're requesting specifically a magically involved team be sent to investigate it, much like the Grand Canyon, where Page, the city known as Page, I don't know why that's in quotation marks, it's a government camp, just like Sagewall, Montana is also asking for assistance in investigating that. Same with the Serpent Mound in Ohio, and as stated before, the Flatwoods Monster? Who comes up with these nicknames? All these seem to be smaller things that they're asking for assistance with a magical team who can assist with these, namely a team like yourselves.
I suppose it's because it's a monster from Flatwoods.
You know, it started in Flatwoods, Virginia, but apparently there is also a Flatwoods, West Virginia, and a Flatwoods, Carolina, and a Flatwoods, Kentucky. Which one it's in, I couldn't tell you. It seems to be floating between every Flatwoods in that region. Likely there's... I'm assuming all those cities are perhaps flat. Maybe. I'm not exactly knowledgeable on that region.
The trees are all very short.
That's also a possibility. Turning our eyes internationally, let's see here. Forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. The Well of Wadi Barhut in Hadramat in British Yemen. Seems to be something about a giant sinkhole. A lot of snakes and lizards and non-indigenous reptilian creatures are occupying it, eating children, and losing local villagers and goats to the sinkhole that seems to try to attract and lull people and anything living into it to a horrible demise. There is some superstition and increased activity about moaning and groaning and strange noises believed to be of a devilish nature coming from the well. I'm sure if you should undertake that mission, there's more information from the British side of things, but seems to be a large devil sinkhole in the middle of the desert, drawing enough concern. Let's see here. Internationally, this is more a Confederate mission in Greentown, or also known as Hoar Verde, if I pronounced that correctly. A workers' village for Portuguese and Dutch traders deep in the Amazon has gone entirely missing. And they're hoping a team can go in to find them. However, because of the jungle's recent, am I reading this correctly, ability to move. They're suggesting someone with good jungle ability and magical ability as well investigate what has happened to the town and its inhabitants. Let's see here. Of course. Coyote Run in the Coyote Confederation and the Indian Territorial State is a point of contention. We're hoping to get an investigative team in who can assist Coyote himself in investigating where a large shipment or shipments of ghost stone seem to have gone missing, that were originally meant to be returned to the Coyote Confederation. One in particular seeming to have gone the way of Murmansk Oblast in Murmansk, USSR. We'll need to send a team to the Confederation to speak with Coyote, and assist him in investigating, as well as tracking down with Interpol and other entities where these ghost stone shipments have disappeared to. Seems to be a larger reaching investigation, but an important one nonetheless. Let's see here. Oano Island, in the South Pacific along the Sandy Island chain. A British destroyer landed there for repairs. It seems the local inhabitants, made up of snake-like humanoids, attacked the crew that was on the beach, forcing them to retreat. However, it would seem some of them are still captured on the island, and no forces have been able to make their way inland to recover them. At this point, they're assumed lost. However, investigating the snake-like humanoids is definitely of interest to the Royal Navy as well as the scientific community. Nantong, Shanghai in China. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom has been sending out routine diplomatic calls for refuge as the Chinese Republic and the Chinese Communist Party, as well as the Japanese Empire and Japanese satellite states, seem to be vying for power and influence on that region. Hostilities are starting to get higher, to say the least, and more forces seem to be stacking up on various borders, leading us to believe it may become a tension point between these large parties. As such, the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom would be a very nice party to be on the good side of, and if we can grant them diplomatic refuge or aid or asylum, that would be nice. However, they are requesting specifically magically involved persons and those of a... Oh, what is the wording here? Those of a celestial knowledge and appreciation for the dragon gods. Okay. Be the ones that they speak to on behalf of whoever should reach out to them.
It's a little bit on the nose for me.
Why would you say that?
Just staring at him.
Oh, because I talked to, it's complicated.
I understand.
I twitch, turn slowly to look at Torin.
I have explained it to you. You know why it's complicated.
Yeah, just fucking.
Don't give me that look. You know. How long would it take me to explain this? And by the way, people don't even believe me when I do explain it.
Entirely too long.
We understand you have some involvement with dragons and celestial entities.
I could see that.
So, likely, Wondrous Company would be a good choice, especially with, to our understanding, some of your belongings or previous experiences with both Japanese imperial parties and other regional power plays, we'll say. However, they seem to be rather patient, so something definitely worth looking into. We are looking at potentially sending some Australian elements to aid. We have also tasked a handful of, I have been assured, diplomatic capable U.S. Marines with the Marine Diplomatic Corps at the Legation Center, who have been attempting to conduct diplomacy with the Heavenly Kingdom and its members for the last month. We haven't received any information as to how well that's gone since. We're hoping well. But likely you'll be assisting them in whatever it is they're doing. Other than that...
Thing to send.
What do you mean, other than that? Those are 22 things.
There's a small amount of small occurrences and findings going on. For example, the Italian National Archaeology Society.
Bomb it.
Well...
Have they put out a hit on us?
No,
What are they?
actually, they're a militarized branch of the Italian government who, much like the OSS and Arcane Society of London, among many, many other groups, are doing rather aggressive, some would say mining operations, others would say archaeology, we call it tomb plundering, are being repelled pretty repeatedly out of the Valley of Kings in Egypt. Thanks to your original involvement there, the numbers have been increased, and we've been able to intercept, I believe it's been 3 or 4 attempted by force digs in that particular valley that have been stopped. But it hasn't stopped them from attempting to send in further shipments into the region, as well as what seems to be a small amount of Italian naval involvement around the city of Alexandria. To what I commented on earlier, the expansion of the beach there. The Italian Navy seems to be drawing some attention to that and are having some of those passive standoffs with the Royal Navy in the region, what little bit is there currently on Cyprus. A little bit of standoff and stare down back and forth. However, outside of that, not too awful much else has been reported. The Soviet officer corps seems to be about 50% lighter than it was about 3 months ago. And it's not because they've been sent abroad. They seem to be conducting a purge. Their great leader, Stalin, seems to be questioning everybody. It was. Seems to be.
Wow, a revolutionary government is purging people. Who could have foreseen this? It's not like it hasn't happened every time since 1798.
Well, hey, look at it this way: we have successfully sicked a dragon and his son, and both of them are very upset on them. So,
in particular note of that, that's something actually worth noting. Because we have received some report and information. While not being granted everything, I don't claim to fully understand it, but you seem to know. Yugoslav draconic bloodlines and the rumor mill and propaganda that seems to be put out. A dragon of royalty has returned to the region, and many, at least as we are being made aware, many of the Dragonborn and Dragonkin within the region, as well as some Soviet officers, not wanting to be persecuted by their own, have been flocking to Yugoslavia and the surrounding states in anticipation of some sort of revival. We are attempting to get in closer with this as much as possible so we can be on top of this information. However...
Yeah, just, if you do that, I mean, if you have to drop my name, I mean, do it there on our side.
We're hoping not to draw any names and simply gather because at this time we have received sparse information that both in Moscow, Murmansk, and a few other major cities in North and Central Russia, it would seem talk of rebellion or perhaps a change of banner, very much... Let's see here. And he flips through and he finds a picture that was taken, and we'll hold it up. I don't currently have the picture in my ready files, but I will post in the next day or two out of character in the server. He holds up what seems to be a picture of the front of a Russian Orthodox church. Peter, you might recognize it as the kind of big main shtick one in central Moscow, just outside the Red Square. Having been pilfered, damaged, and torn down by the Soviets, seems like it's been largely rebuilt to an extent. However, the symbols above it aren't the Orthodox cross, but what seems to be the best way to describe it is sort of a sideways Orthodox cross with additional X's on it to the left, what would be the top and bottom of it. Some weird kind of arcane amalgamation, almost like there's sigils or symbols written into it. You're getting a little bit of the Golden Order kind of occult symbology tied into some of these crosses. The door's been rebuilt. There's some kind of monks standing in front alongside Soviet officers, and what seems to be a handful of Dragonborn standing in front of it. And very namely, some of the Soviet officers have a flag flying on a pole. That flag being the Soviet red hammer and sickle in the corner. However, in the center of it is what looks like a... Again, the best way I can describe it is the Orthodox cross with the additional bar going across. However, turned on its side with two additional kind of Georgian or Antioch crosses or X's, almost iron crosses, to the left and right side, what would be the top and bottom of that cross. With what looks like different arcane sigils, some of them looking a bit Russian in at least shape or design and how crude and like jagged they are, flying in front of that church. And setting the picture back down, you guys will be able to reference that a little bit later. It would seem a rumor is going around from some informants within the British side of the OSS on our behalf, who are operating out of Murmansk, some form of Orthodox cult dating back to the 1880s and 1870s. Some suggest under the name of Rasputin, although we understand him to be dead during an assassination. However, there are some claims and rumor mills suggesting he may be leading a communist-aligned religious revolution within their ranks.
That's in poor taste.
You would think so.
I thought you said that the communists don't really care for religion overall. Kind of goes against their whole thing.
They don't, which is why this is a point of concern, considering they have been directly drawn attention to by the mass of Dragonborn, Dragonkin, and runaway Soviet officers who are all flocking to Yugoslavia. We're a bit worried about this, and they may be directly in competition of each other, or perhaps a response to each other. The Soviets may be drawing back on some sort of cult in response to what we understand to be very anti-communist and anti-Comintern draconic bloodlines coming back to light. We're not entirely sure. We don't have too much information on it yet. However, should you be in the region, whether it be Italy, Germany, Murmansk Oblast, or perhaps your time in Manchukuo or China, or perhaps, well, even in Afghanistan, a small bit of information gathering on that, as well as some of our operatives in the region, is going to be taking a bit of priority. But we are assured it's nothing that will spark anything major in the next few months. But if you are in the region, we would request a bit of investigation into that if you are able.
Whoops. I guess we sort of indirectly started that, didn't we?
Well, the return of the ancient Yugoslav draconic bloodline has been turning a few heads, and the rumor mill has been inspiring quite a bit of anti-Italian, anti-fascist, anti-Comintern, and anti-Turk, we'll say national pride.
Well, that's good.
We tend to think so. Yeah. But of course, we would need a little bit of direct voice with whoever some of these parties are. We understand, General Zagros, you have some pull and sway within the Athenian and the Greek League, who are relatively close to the region, and you may be able to directly get yourself involved with this, by chance, if you should choose to gamble a bit of that involvement. However, that is entirely at your own decision.
I'll see if I can turn anything up.
That would be very, very helpful. However, all of this in mind, all of this information, and much more floating around, other than the occasional sighting of U-boats, some British having a bit of a rough time, the Royal Navy is fledgling as always down near the Falklands, has been asking for aid from the Confederate Navy, who have only recently been expanding their deep-water fleet to better help patrol the South Atlantic. little bit of involvement with the U.S. Pacific Fleet around the South Pacific and the Dutch East Indies. Outside of that, not too awful much has been catching our eye, or at least has been coming across my desk. I'm sure our British side has a bit more information pertaining to Europe and Africa or the Far East, but as far as what has come across my table, this has been the latest updates the last few months. So, with that in mind, all this information will be here. Feel free to pore over and dictate among yourselves and come to a decision which mission or mission chain you would like to partake in. And once you have made that decision, simply have a note passed forward, and I will be able to inform the rest under my command, and we'll be able to plan around that for your transport, movement, pay, and support staff that we can provide. Obviously, any questions you have, the information will be here in the dockets. Take your time, and once you have made a decision, file and submit the report. I'll be back later this evening to receive it. And of course, after you have made that report, I don't see why you won't have 48 hours or at least 2 days to take to yourselves, perhaps investigate and research or compile what information you may need on whatever information you wish to undertake. Do you have any other questions for me while I'm here before I leave you all to deliberate?
Why's your shoe untied?
I'm wearing my house shoes, but you see him lean back and look, and under the table, he kind of moves both his feet. Despite being in full dress uniform and a somewhat looser tie, he does wiggle his feet, and he is wearing his house shoes, because Major General of OSS US Operations don't give a fuck.
DM, I'm using a fact. His shoes are untied.
His house shoes are untied?
Yeah, I'm using my fact.
They're
Roll
like,
me
there's a
charisma.
string coming unraveled from them.
This isn't the first time we've done this to him.
No, this is the first time we've done this to him. We did it to Swinton like 4 times, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll me charisma, Nikos. We'll see if that'll tie in with that deception.
Are you
Who's
sure
that?
your shoes
28.
are untied?
Damn it!
Hang on.
Respin!
Respin that charisma.
Come on! Oh, I
Well,
saw that on 20 for a second there.
Well,
It
he
was on there
does
for a
look
second.
down. He wiggles his feet for a moment, plants them back down, and looks at you with an amused brow raise as the very short for show laces are still tied. Yeah, quite so.
Nico's unable to contain the smile.
I imagine both yours and Ambassador Kickington's shoes are untied as well.
Who's? Mine?
Well, yes, if you would look.
I don't know, wear shoes still?
Sure you do.
I don't think this guy realizes that we don't wear shoes.
No, but he is right. Your spat is untied. The left one? You see?
Roll deception. Roll deception against my insight. Oh my god.
You better nat 20 this insight.
I'm not even gonna roll it.
Roll it. Come on.
Okay, I'll roll it, but
What a wuss.
Nat 1. Nat 1. Nat 1.
one.
Aww.
Torrent's
Roll an 11.
glaring at Peter, and then his eyes sort of flick down, and then back up at Peter, and he's glaring, and then they flick down again, and then he leans to the left and looks at his foot. And then he's really glaring at Peter.
While it's not untied, one of the laces are a little bit longer than the other.
Hang on,
it wasn't tied
I got-
properly.
I got some better one.
Oh?
No, look, you can see, it's untied.
You cannot force me to roll another failing insight roll.
I just look. It's not. It's just.
You see Alexander lean to the side in his chair. Alexander, that investigation, you can tell his left spat is in fact untied.
Well.
It's not. No. Am I missing it? Am I what?
You must be.
You know, I've seen some of the kobolds with our moth dragon down beneath R&D. Has been having them wear spats after she saw you doing the same. However, all of hers have buckles. Perhaps something to consider.
But the buckles are less efficient. The straps allow it to be more form-fitted. I didn't ask you.
Little bit of an enamored smile as he raises up from his chair, pops his heel back into one of his house shoes as it slips off a bit, and steps away and exits the room, letting the door close behind him, leaving you guys to pore over and deliberate over the world map, and whether in character or out of character, feel free to deliberate and figure out what mission do you guys want to do next, or what chain of missions, or what kind of flight path and order would you like to partake for the next arc of the campaign?
Does your wife know you're wearing your slippers out of the house?
All I'll say is I kind of want to go somewhere that's, hot since we dealt with cold. I'm not a big fan of cold.
So hear me.
I obviously want to go look into the water people off of Belize.
I would like to keep working west. I want to check out that Moreno Island stuff, and I want to get to China.
Of course.
And Japan for some personal reasons.
A couple of things notably caught my attention, specifically the missing zinc, just for the sole fact that the ability for America to bolster its navy leading up into what is very clearly appearing to be a European conflict is going to be quite useful. Just in the grounds of everything, and also, as I'm sure you know, I am quite affixed to the conflict which has developed with Herr Hemmenwef, and as I'm sure you can all understand why I feel a sense of urgency when that matter is now apparently once again present.
I have to say that I'm not really too plussed on which direction we take, but I am still trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this whole thing. I believe I discussed it with you previously, Torin, with Delta and everything.
Yeah, that's there too.
And from what I was able to gather, the going to track down more of this ghost stone stuff that's going missing was also a bit of a problem, but I didn't think that might be the way to go.
Just the way I kind of interpret this map is that while there appear to be many smaller issues in the states, they all appear to be relatively benign when compared to the contrast of the global scale of shit that we're seeing here. It is deeply interesting as they are. I feel like there's more pressing matters on different continents.
I say Egypt. That's just my 2 cents.
I think Belize, then somewhere in the southwest, then onto Areno.
So, hear me out here, Peter. I am in possession of a naval warship. Granted, it's an older one. It will take time to transit to Belize if we would so desire it, and I believe I would greatly like to desire it in Egypt.
I've seen that thing. It'll take months to get to Egypt. So
we can figure something out.
Perhaps we go check out this whatever is going on in the Flat Woodses. Maybe check out the Serpent Mound if we have time, and then whenever the ship reaches Belize, then we can go join it. But before we leave, we should collect underwater exploration equipment, what can be found?
Oh, that's gonna be funny. Have you ever seen that stuff? Oh, I've seen it. It's claustrophobic. You're not claustrophobic, right?
It does look horrible.
I mean, we have Nikos, but surely there has to be some kind of magical solution beyond that.
All of us just standing there in super heavy fucking rubber gear and like the Scooby-Doo metal helmets, and Nikos is just there like, sup, brah.
I don't know if I'm really built for a water environment, though.
At the very least, you'll be able to keep them warm.
Either way, I'd like a moderate degree of planning. I do have a vessel that is a great asset to us. However, it has a transit time, and we can, of course, beat it to any location. And as well, I'm also quite interested in getting to China as well, for obvious reasons.
So, like I said, we can go to, because I agree, going to Egypt, I think we want the ship. So we send the ship to Belize. We find something to do in the interim. I think Flatwoods is probably the best bet because it's right there.
It's close.
Just over the mountains.
And then perhaps once our affairs are, however they go in Egypt, I'm quite interested in what appears to be partly your conflict in the Eastern Hemisphere.
That's not what I was thinking. Hopefully by the time we're finished in Flatwoods, the ship is either at or very near Belize.
Yes.
Once we finish in Belize, we send the ship to Egypt. Now that is a very long journey.
That's what I was thinking.
And while it is doing that,
we can do 20 knots.
I thought it was topped out at like 12.
It's a torpedo ram. It's meant to go fast to hit things and break them.
Yeah, but fast in the era of torpedo ram was like 8 knots.
Yeah, well, there's some good mechanics and some magic and shit, and
got a more modern engine.
You'd still have problems with fuel consumption.
True.
That's why there's just a really tired caster down in the boiler room just shooting fireballs into the fucking boilers.
It would take it a hot minute to get from Belize all the way to Egypt, but it would be able to make it. It'd have to follow a lot of the African coast.
While it is going to Egypt, we go the other way around the world. Go to Oreno Island, because I think that may have something to do with Hachu. Not just because they're snakes, but because the Yuan-Ti death cult seems to be directly implicated in both Hachu's issues and in the Fey realm.
Exactly. Yes, they're incursion.
Aye, that's true.
So after we finish in Belize, we take the airplane, which I don't know if you know this, but the airplane is significantly faster than a ship from the 1800s.
What? No, it can't be.
And then we go west while the ship heads east. And what, worst case scenario, it hangs out in Athens for a month or two.
Yeah, worst case. No, sorry, I have to do math on this. You just blew my mind, Peter. One sec.
It's like pulls out a pen, he's scribbling furiously. He's like,
I'll carry the 5. Oh my gosh, Peter, you're right. The airplane is faster.
Wait, are you being serious? Or...
Just holds up a shitty sketch of an airplane with a greater than sign and a shitty sketch of a boat.
Yes.
It's a triangle toy boat.
How did I not know this before?
I'm so confused. Are you being sarcastic or are you being real right now?
I'm being completely real right now. I didn't understand the difference between a boat and a plane.
That's insane.
I know. I thought I was smart.
And so while the boat is taking its time going east, we go west, and meet up in Alexandria that way.
I subscribe to that.
I'm not so
Sounds
sure.
like a good idea.
Rich, what's up?
No, so with the Summer Realm having its own issues and everything, even with the Yuan-Ti invading as they are, causing problems there. Something about sand just, gets into my fur.
So you don't want to go to Alexandria at all?
No, perhaps, but they're talking about portals and everything, and how people get to the other realms, and he's kind of searching for words and whatnot as he's sitting there trying to rub at the corner of his eye, kind of distractedly. It seems that most of the time with some of these portals, from everything that I've read and been told and talked to, that they usually just open up in the ground like that, and that sounds an awful lot of like what's happening over in, what is it? He's going to point towards Saudi Arabia area on the map.
I feel like I'm inclined to disagree. A portal does not create a sandstorm, which then channels sand through the air to create a ghost.
I'm not taking it. It's a sandstorm or nothing like that, but I don't know. It seems like what is it? It's what do they call the things? They said that the jinn and everything. What even are those?
I'm sorry, the what?
Well, if you look at the papers and you shuffle the papers around, and he's gonna have his lips are moving as he's reading the things, trying to find it. He's gonna point at that one. It says here that see the local superstition and the reports given to the British military and constabulary in the area will suggest anger and destruction of accursed jinn inhabitants in the whole. So, are jinn kind of like genie?
Well,
correct me if I misremembering or nothing, but don't they have pretty powerful magics and such?
Yes.
Well, it seems that they're trying to pull a whole bunch of things into the ground like that. Like, where is it going? It's got to be going somewhere.
It appears to be forming an extension of the coastline, if intel is correct. And I mean, I say, even if we don't know.
He's talking about Yemen, not Alexandria.
Oh.
Yeah, that one, Yemen. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, and I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Yemen, it's not problem.
I'm taking back that inspiration point, Peter.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, to explain my predisposition a little bit better, there is likely no event in this world that will keep me from eventually reaching Alexandria. I have been tasked with a very specific goal by a higher power, even given the powers and the blessing to do so. One way or another, I will be there.
If that is related to the Fey Realm in Yemen, I think we should stop at Oreno Island first anyway, because perhaps there we can find out what the Yuan-Ti are doing. That with their invasion of the Fey Realm.
DM voice speaking. So the suggestion is something quick and rapid nearby, perhaps investigating the Flatwoods monster, as that should be quick and easy. Flying down to Belize to investigate the zinc shipment at the Great Blue Hole. And then from there, sending your private battleship across the Atlantic and Mediterranean to stand by. Oh, did I cut out?
No, I disconnected and reconnected.
Oh, shoot. There you go.
I see they're getting him too.
Oh, no. So the suggestion is...
the initial thought was...
hit up Flatwoods, bounce down to Belize, then send
Given the nature of Belize, the initial thought was to send the torpedo ram first to Belize.
That makes sense.
We send the torpedo ram to Belize, but because it's going to have travel time, while it's doing the travel time, because we have the airplane and the airplane is fast, we go to Flatwoods.
Flatwoods while it
has
floats
really been
down
harping
there.
on Flatwoods outside of the game.
Because it's a meme.
So we go to Flatwoods, then depending on whether or not the ship has arrived yet, we can possibly go do the Serpent Mound, because I gotta admit I'm very curious about that out of character, because I find the Mississippian culture very interesting. If it has, though, then we just go straight to Big Blue Hole. We do Big Blue Hole, we send the ram off to cross the Atlantic, while we go over across the map to Oeno Island. Yep. Then Oeno Island to like Heavenly Kingdom or Japan or stuff, and maybe we can get some of my character stuff out of the way up here. From there, we go possibly to Well of Hell if we feel like that's important, and then we go to Alexandria.
Timetable based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Seems like a pretty solid direction, cause and effect.
I also do want to hit up Page of Page because obvious reasons.
Meme.
But
so I just love the idea of that thing fucking chugging across the Atlantic, and some U-boat captain just pops up, pulls down periscope, looks at it, and goes, "Nah."
The fuck?
Nah, we're good.
No.
Instead of sending it directly to Alexandria, we probably send it to Athens or something, or Rhodes.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to cross the thickest of the Atlantic. It would want to run the coast until it can make a sharp crossing, and then...
Well, no, I mean, instead of having it stop in Alexandria, for kind of sort of like we don't want to leave our torpedo ram in Alexandria without us there.
We'll have a crew.
But we don't want to risk them in like what we're perceiving kind of as the stronghold of our enemy, without us. So, and I'm presuming the ship's going to get there before we get there, because the ship getting there is our trigger to get there. So instead, we send them to Athens, which is like a 2-day sail away. Yeah. And then we can go to Athens. Get another good look at Nikos' mom's knockers, and then and then make our way to Alexandria. But that's more minute logistic stuff. In effect, it's going to Alexandria.
I still do love that during this time period, a torpedo ram is such a weird bastard of a ship that, despite its very small size, it is ludicrous in both armament and armor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the armor's kind of shit, but that's because it's like at best Harvey steel, and like everything modern is Krupp. But
well, I'm using expectation in metagaming to say that it has probably received some sort of upgrades to the rolled steel around the...
It's got an additional armor on the belt line or something, I'm sure.
It's got a bunch of rubber armor bolted on the side of it.
But so the general plan: send the boat down to the Blue Hole. In the meantime, you guys want to hit up the Flatwoods, and possibly also hit up the Serpent Mound, and then bounce on down to Belize and investigate what's going on in the Great Blue Hole outside of Belize. And then, upon completion of that, send the ram off to the Mediterranean to hang out in Cyprus or Athens or Greece or Egypt, something in that
Athens,
region.
So we can go say hi to Nikos' mom.
Probably Athens.
Telegram received. Send boat to hole. Stop. Do not ram hole. Stop.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, while it makes that long float, you guys want to fly west across the Pacific to investigate Oeno Island. And then from Oeno Island, you'll be deciding whether or not you'll then fly to Nanking, or if you're going to fly to Yemen or Egypt.
Or
Like
if
you'll
we have a plane, or if we're there and then we need to fucking head back to an HQ for a day or two to rebrief, or like it's a very loose plan.
exactly, yeah. The thing too is all across the world here there are different headquarters. As to how much like aid they have will be different between them, but at any point in time between a mission to like fully recover and restock, you got multiple headquarters. So like obviously in the South Central Atlantic, you got Baja Company along the string of islands. In the Pacific, you of course have Caledonia, all of Australia, Special Unit Z. In the Mediterranean, you got Hyksos Company. You could also land, Hong Kong, Manila, Saigon if you wanted to.
Singapore.
So there's a handful of places that you can land in between for resupply. However, whether it gives you like a full like 2-day investigative period or information gathering, not all of them will, but the rough path can be however you guys want to take it. But just making sure I know for DM notes. But yeah, Flatwoods, possibly Serpent Mound, bounce to the Blue Hole, take the big old torpedo ram. After that, send it off to the Mediterranean where you guys fly out to Ueno Island, and then from there you guys will decide what you want to hit up next upon investigating the island, which could be anything from China to Yemen to Egypt to something in between.
We have an airplane.
Exactly. You guys have an airplane, airfields, and the entire world is your oyster.
So, if that's mostly somewhat settled, at least the first steps, once we step out of here, I'm going to, well, given the urgency in the U.S. Post, I'll actually probably send for a telegram to have the Fairchild properly fitted and crewed and set her off.
Alrighty, sounds like a plan. You guys will be able to write up the rough report, especially with Alexander's help, of what you're going to be looking into. And with the basic information there, over the next week, out of character, I will be posting dockets of information, something I'm going to be trying to make a little more standard. Full information dockets and debriefs on these 4 next missions you're going into, and whatever information there may be pertaining to them that could aid or assist you. In addition, as we're getting to the end of today's session, next session we're going to be opening up with doing the action and interaction for 2 days for each of you, whether it be research, investigation, talking, passing, what have you, upgrading. We're going to do 2 sets of action and interaction for everybody, and then get you guys on your way to the Flatwoods, any one of the 4 or 5 that exist, to begin your investigation for this string of missions into who and what and where and how and why is the Flatwoods monster, and why is it a monster, and why is it so good? Then after that, we'll be rolling along with this string of missions. So, yeah, do expect to be on track and investigating the Flatwoods by the end of next session. So, but for now, hitting that 4-hour mark, we will end today's session there. And see you all next week as we get rolling into the next chunk.
Oh